Have you ever felt it? That deep, unshakable knowing within you, a fire that refuses to be extinguished? Since childhood, you've sensed it, though you could never quite explain it. A difference, a calling, a force within you that sets you apart from the rest. You have always known that you do not think like others, nor do you feel as they do. The places where they find comfort feel like a prison to you. Their dreams do not stir your soul. Their ambitions seem hollow, their pursuits meaningless. While they eagerly follow the paths laid before them, something in you resists. Something in you knows that you were not meant to fit in. But why? Why does the world not understand you? Why does your spirit feel misplaced in a realm that does not move as you do? The answer, chosen one, is both simple and profound. You are not 100% human. That statement may challenge everything you have been taught. It may shake the foundation of your understanding. But if you quiet the noise of the world, if you listen with your spirit instead of your mind, you will realize that this truth is not new to you. It has always been there, waiting to be unlocked. This is not a metaphor. This is not an exaggeration. This is truth. There is something within you that transcends human comprehension, something beyond the limitations of flesh and blood. Your spirit is not of this world. Your origin is not of the earth. The very essence that flows through you is mixed with something divine, something that cannot be explained by human logic. Divinity itself has touched you. You are a vessel of something far greater than what the world perceives, a mystery hidden from the eyes of the ordinary but revealed to those who have ears to hear. Yet the world has tried to convince you otherwise. It has told you that you are just like everyone else, that you must conform, that you must follow its systems, its structures, its rules. It has tried to silence the fire inside you, to make you doubt your difference, to make you question your purpose. But despite all its efforts, something in you has always resisted. Something in you refuses to conform, refuses to accept mediocrity, refuses to settle for the ordinary. That is because you were never meant to. This message is not for everyone. Many will hear these words and dismiss them. Many will remain blind to the truth, too entangled in the illusion of this world to see beyond it. But you, if you are truly chosen, will feel the weight of these words in your soul. So open your heart, open your mind. Let the fire of truth consume every lie that has been planted within you. Let it burn away every false identity the world has tried to place upon you. Let it awaken what has been dormant inside you for too long. Because today is the day you remember who you are. Today is the day you step into the fullness of your identity. Today, you rise. If you are not 100% human, then what are you? To answer this question, we must go back to the very beginning. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion." What does it mean to be made in the image of God? It means that you are more than just flesh and blood, more than just a physical body navigating a temporary world. It means that your true nature is spirit first, eternal, limitless, and connected to something far greater than human existence. This is why you feel things that others do not. This is why you see beyond what is in front of you, why your heart longs for something more, something beyond this life. You were never meant to be confined by the limitations of this world because your origin is not of the earth. Your very essence carries the imprint of the Creator Himself, a divine signature woven into the fabric of your being. This is why you have always felt different, why you have never fully belonged. The world operates on a frequency that does not resonate with you. It moves in patterns that seem unnatural, bound by limitations that you were never meant to accept. While others are satisfied with what they can see and touch, your spirit yearns for something deeper. You perceive things that others overlook, you sense truths that they dismiss, and you dream beyond the boundaries they accept as reality. You are not merely human, you are spirit wrapped in flesh, an eternal being having a temporary experience, a creation of divine intention placed in a world that was never meant to contain you. And yet the enemy works tirelessly to make you forget this truth. The world has conditioned you to believe that you are nothing more than flesh and bone, that your worth is determined by earthly measures, that you must conform to the expectations of society. It has tried to silence the voice inside you that whispers, "You were made for more." It has tried to drown out the calling that stirs within your soul. But no matter how much the world tries to bury it, the fire inside you cannot be extinguished. The truth of your identity will always rise. This is why you feel restless. This is why you cannot find fulfillment in the things that satisfy others. This is why, no matter how much you try to fit in, something always pulls you away. Because you were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were never meant to be like the rest. You were chosen, set apart, marked by heaven with a purpose greater than what the world can understand. And the moment you fully realize who you are, everything changes. You will no longer be bound by the limitations of this world. You will no longer live beneath your calling. You will no longer shrink back in fear or uncertainty. Instead, you will rise. You will walk in dominion, because you are not just human. You are divine by design. You carry the breath of God inside you, and when you awaken to this truth, the world will never see you the same way again. There are two types of people walking this earth, though they may appear the same on the outside. The first group consists of those who are of the world. Their minds, desires, and ambitions are tied to earthly systems. They live by what they can see, touch, and control, measuring their success by material gain, social validation, and temporary pleasures. Their entire existence is rooted in what is tangible, and their decisions are dictated by what the world deems acceptable, desirable, or powerful. They chase after wealth, status, and approval, believing that these things define their worth. They are bound by the limits of human understanding, confined to the cycle of birth, survival, and death, never questioning if there is more beyond what their eyes can perceive. These are the ones who belong to the world, shaped by its ways, ruled by its principles, and ultimately destined to pass away with it. Then there is the second group, those who are not of this world. These are the chosen ones, the ones whose spirits were set apart before time itself. Though they walk among the people of this earth, they are different. Their thoughts do not conform to the patterns of the world. Their desires do not align with its fleeting pleasures, and their hearts are attuned to a frequency that others cannot hear. Their existence is not defined by what is seen, but by what is eternal. They are governed by faith rather than fear, by divine truth rather than human opinion. They are called to a higher standard, a greater purpose, a destiny that extends beyond this life. Jesus himself spoke of this distinction when he said, "They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world." If you have always felt like an outsider, like a stranger in your own land, it is because your spirit was not born here. Your origin is divine, your purpose is eternal, and no matter how much the world tries to mold you into its image, you will never truly belong to it. This is why you feel resistance. This is why you face rejection. This is why you find yourself at odds with a world that does not understand you, because your essence does not come from this place. And this, chosen one, is both your greatest strength and your greatest challenge. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were never meant to be comfortable in a world that is fading away. You were set apart, chosen by God, designed for something greater than what this world can offer. So stop trying to fit in where you do not belong. Stop seeking validation from those who cannot recognize what is inside you. You were not meant to be like them. You are meant to stand out, to lead, to walk in power, and to fulfill the divine calling that has been placed upon your life. The time has come. The world is shifting. The heavens are stirring, and those who have been asleep are beginning to wake up. For too long, the chosen ones have wandered in confusion, searching for answers, questioning their identity, and wrestling with the weight of their calling. Many have felt lost, isolated, rejected, misunderstood by the world around them. They have spent years trying to conform, trying to fit into a society that was never meant to embrace them. But now, something is happening. A divine awakening is taking place. The chosen ones are beginning to remember who they are. No more doubt, no more fear, no more hesitation. The veil is being lifted and the truth is being revealed. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to live like everyone else. You were never meant to walk the same path as the rest of the world. You were called, set apart, destined for something far greater than the limitations this world has tried to place upon you. And now, the time has come for you to rise. The enemy has worked tirelessly to keep you blind to your true identity. He has tried to drown you in fear, in distractions, in cycles of delay and confusion. He has sent people to discourage you, to make you question yourself, to weaken your spirit. He has used rejection, failure, and pain to convince you that you are forgotten, unworthy, powerless. But he was afraid of this moment, because he knew that one day you would wake up. He knew that one day you would finally understand who you are, and when that day came, nothing would be able to stop you. That day is now. Your struggles were not meant to break you. They were meant to shape you. Every battle you have faced was a training ground for the power you are about to walk in. Every rejection, every hardship, every painful experience was preparing you for the moment you step into your divine purpose. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are a warrior in the kingdom of God, a force that the darkness has tried to silence. But it has failed, because the fire inside you cannot be extinguished. The world will not understand what is happening inside you. People will question you. They will try to pull you back into their systems, their traditions, their expectations. They will tell you to be practical, to be realistic, to settle for a life that is safe and comfortable. But you were never meant to be comfortable. You were meant to change the world. You were meant to shake the foundations of the earth with the power that has been placed inside you. You were meant to walk in authority, in wisdom, in divine favor. This is your awakening. No longer will you live in fear. No longer will you shrink back. No longer will you accept mediocrity. The kingdom is calling. The time is now. You must rise. You must walk boldly in your purpose. You must take your place. The enemy has tried to stop you, but he has failed. Nothing can hold you back now. Nothing can silence you. You are chosen. You are set apart. You are anointed for such a time as this. So rise, chosen one. Step into your destiny. The world is about to see your power, and nothing will ever be the same again. If this message has stirred something deep within you, if your spirit has resonated with these words and a fire has been ignited inside you, then do not let this moment pass. Declare it now. Speak it into existence. Type these words in the comments. I know who I am. Let this be a statement of faith, a declaration of awakening, a confirmation that you are no longer bound by the limitations the world has tried to place upon you. You are not lost. You are not ordinary. You are chosen, set apart, and destined for something greater. This is your moment to step into the truth of who you were always meant to be. I want to take a moment to thank you for being here, for opening your heart to this message, and for walking this journey of spiritual awakening. Your presence is not an accident. You were led here for a reason. You are part of a movement, a divine calling that is gathering the chosen ones, awakening them to their true identity. And your engagement, whether through a comment, a like, or sharing this message, is helping spread this truth to others who are still searching. To those who have already subscribed, your support is invaluable. You are not just following a channel. You are joining a community of awakened souls who refuse to live in darkness, who choose truth over deception, purpose over confusion. If you have not yet subscribed, I invite you to do so now. Click that button, turn on notifications, and stand with us as we continue to awaken and empower those who are ready to walk in their divine calling. Every action you take, every comment, every share, every like, is not just a gesture. It is a ripple effect that reaches people who need this message. And for that, I am truly grateful. This is just the beginning of your journey. Walk boldly, stand firm, and never forget, you are not of this world. You are chosen. Now let the world hear you. Declare it in the comments. I know who I am. Let this be your moment of power, your statement of faith, and your first step into the life you were always meant to live. Let me begin by asking you a question that may seem simple at first, but I want you to truly reflect on it. What are you allowing into your life right now that could be silently lowering your vibration? Because here's the truth. Your life, your energy, and your reality are all deeply intertwined with the vibrational frequency you hold. Everything you touch, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, either elevates you or weighs you down. As a chosen one, your energy is sacred. It is the light that fuels your purpose, the force that attracts blessings, and the key to manifesting the reality you were destined to live. But if you are serious about stepping into your purpose, if you are truly committed to maintaining high vibrations, you must be mindful of the things that lower your frequency. Now, have you ever felt a heaviness in your spirit after engaging with something or someone that drained your energy? That sense of unease when you ignored your intuition and interacted with something that just didn't feel right? Yet how often do we dismiss those feelings? How often do we convince ourselves that it's harmless, that it doesn't really matter, that we can rise above it? But here's something you must understand. Energy is contagious. Vibrations are real, and everything in this world, from people to ideas to emotions, carries a frequency. When you engage with something of a lower vibration, no matter how strong you think you are, it affects you. It pulls you down, sometimes so subtly that you don't even realize it until it's too late. So let's get into it. If you are truly dedicated to keeping your vibrations high, there are certain things you must never touch. The first and most dangerous thing you must avoid is toxic relationships. And this isn't just about romantic relationships. It extends to every connection in your life, including friendships, family members, co-workers, and even acquaintances who bring negativity into your space. Toxicity does not always come in obvious forms. Sometimes it hides behind the mask of familiarity, obligation, or even love. But regardless of how it presents itself, one undeniable truth remains. These relationships have the power to lower your vibration, drain your energy, and pull you away from your highest self. You know exactly who these people are. They are the ones who criticize more than they encourage, who gossip instead of uplift, who seem to take more from you than they ever give. These are the individuals who operate from a place of negativity, who constantly complain, judge, and spread fear. And while it's easy to justify keeping them around, because of shared history, because they are family, because you don't want to seem unkind, the reality is that every relationship is an energy exchange. Every time you engage with someone, you are absorbing some of their energy, while also giving away some of your own. If you are constantly surrounded by those who vibrate at a lower frequency, it is only a matter of time before their energy begins to influence you, subtly shifting your thoughts, emotions, and even your perception of yourself. Yet, despite knowing how draining these connections can be, many of us continue to hold on. Why? Because of fear. The fear of being alone, the fear of confrontation, or the fear of change. We tell ourselves that we owe these relationships something, that walking away would be selfish or cruel. Some of us believe we can fix them, that if we just love them enough, support them enough, or guide them in the right direction, they will change. But here's a hard truth that many chosen ones struggle to accept. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot save someone who refuses to save themselves. No matter how much love and light you bring into a relationship, if the other person is unwilling to rise, they will only pull you down in the process. And here's the dangerous part. This kind of energy drain does not always happen suddenly or dramatically. More often than not, it is a slow and subtle erosion of your spirit. One negative conversation at a time. One instance of self-doubt planted by their words. One moment of absorbing their pessimism and carrying it as your own. Before you know it, you find yourself more anxious, more doubtful, more exhausted than before, wondering why your light feels dimmer and your energy feels heavier. So how do you break free? The first step is awareness. Recognizing the relationships that are no longer serving your highest good is essential. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with someone. Do you feel uplifted, inspired, and aligned? Or do you feel drained, frustrated, and disconnected from yourself? Your emotions are your greatest guide. They will always reveal who is adding to your energy and who is depleting it. Once you have identified the toxic connections in your life, the next step is the hardest one: letting go. This does not always mean cutting people off completely, but it does mean setting firm boundaries and protecting your energy. Some people will not understand your decision to step back, and that is okay. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace over chaos, light over darkness, or self-preservation over self-sacrifice. This journey is not easy. You may grieve the loss of certain relationships, even if you know they were unhealthy. But remember this: growth often requires separation. Just as a tree must shed its dead leaves to make room for new growth, you must release what is no longer serving you to make space for what is meant to flourish in your life. Protecting your vibration is not selfish. It is necessary. Your energy is sacred, and it should only be shared with those who respect and honor it. If someone is not contributing to your growth, your joy, and your higher purpose, then they do not deserve a front row seat in your life. At the end of the day, being a chosen one means being discerning about who and what you allow into your energetic space. Not everyone who is drawn to your light is meant to walk this path with you. Some people come into your life as lessons, while others are meant to walk beside you as blessings. The key is knowing the difference and having the courage to release anything that no longer aligns with your highest self. Now, let's talk about something even more subtle but just as dangerous: the content you consume. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information. Think about how much time we spend scrolling through social media, watching TV, listening to music, reading the news, or even just mindlessly absorbing whatever pops up on our screens. Content is everywhere, and it never stops. The question is, what are you allowing into your mind? Most people don't realize that every word, every image, every sound carries a vibration. Everything you expose yourself to has the potential to either elevate your energy or lower it. Some content is uplifting, inspiring, and aligned with the frequency you are trying to hold. But much of it is not. In fact, a significant portion of the content we consume daily is designed to do the exact opposite. It is programmed to keep you in fear, trap you in comparison, and hold you in a mindset of judgment and lack. Social media, for example, can be one of the biggest culprits. We scroll mindlessly, consuming a mix of negativity, unrealistic standards, and carefully curated versions of people's lives that make us feel as though we are falling behind. Without realizing it, we begin to compare ourselves to these filtered realities, questioning our own worth and accomplishments. We see headlines designed to provoke anxiety, influencers promoting unattainable lifestyles, and endless opinions that may not align with our truth, yet somehow infiltrate our subconscious. And the scariest part? We don't even realize it's happening. We tell ourselves, it's just entertainment, it's just background noise, or it doesn't really affect me. But here's the truth. The content you consume becomes the thoughts you think, and the thoughts you think shape the reality you create. Every single time you expose yourself to fear-based news, gossip, or negativity, you are allowing that energy into your mental space. Every time you listen to music with lyrics that glorify pain, anger, or self-destruction, you are reinforcing those emotions within yourself. Every time you engage with content that promotes scarcity, insecurity, or division, you are programming your mind to see the world through that lens. And it doesn't just stop at social media or music. The movies you watch, the books you read, the conversations you engage in, all of it contributes to your mental and emotional state. If you are not consciously choosing what you allow into your mind, then the world is programming it for you. So, Ask yourself, are you consuming content that elevates you or content that lowers you? Because here's the thing, your mind is the most powerful tool you have for creating your reality. Whatever you feed it consistently will become the foundation of your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately, your actions. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, fear, and division, you will begin to see the world through that perspective. But if you choose to fill your mind with wisdom, inspiration, and high vibrational content, your perception of life will shift accordingly. The good news? You have control. You get to decide what you engage with. You get to curate your mental diet just as carefully as you would your physical one. Just as you wouldn't willingly consume poison, you must learn to avoid mental toxins that weaken your energy and keep you stuck in lower frequencies. Here's how you can start protecting your mind. Be intentional about your content choices. Before engaging with anything, whether it's a movie, a book, or a social media post, ask yourself, how will this affect my energy? Does this align with the vibration I want to hold? If it doesn't serve you, don't engage. Unfollow negativity. Social media can be a powerful tool when used wisely. If a page, account, or channel constantly spreads fear, drama, or unrealistic comparisons, unfollow it. Surround your feed with content that uplifts, educates, and inspires. Limit news consumption. Staying informed is important, but being bombarded with fear-driven headlines daily is not. The media thrives on sensationalism, and constant exposure to negative news can leave you feeling anxious, hopeless, and drained. Choose when and how you receive information, and focus on solutions rather than problems. Be mindful of music and entertainment. Lyrics, stories, and images have a profound effect on the subconscious mind. Pay attention to what you're listening to and watching. If the energy behind it is destructive, chaotic, or heavy, consider choosing something more uplifting. Prioritize real-world experiences. Instead of spending hours consuming content online, engage with real life. Read books that expand your mind. Have meaningful conversations with people who inspire you. Spend time in nature, meditate, and connect with yourself. At the end of the day, your mind is sacred space. Guard it fiercely. The world will always try to pull you into distraction, fear, and comparison, but you have the power to choose what you engage with. The more intentional you are about the content you consume, the higher your vibration will be, and the more aligned you will become with the life you were meant to live. But it's not just the people you surround yourself with or the content you consume that you need to be mindful of. It's also your own habits. The things you do when no one is watching, the choices you make daily, the way you treat your body, your mind, and your spirit. All of these play a significant role in shaping your energy. Whether you realize it or not, every action you take carries a vibration. Some actions strengthen your energy, elevate your frequency, and bring you closer to your higher self. Others weaken you, drain your vitality, and pull you away from your true purpose. So let's talk about the aspects of your daily life that silently influence your vibration. Number 1. The foods you eat, fuel or poison. Your body is the vessel that carries your energy in this physical world. What you put into it directly affects how you feel, how you think, and how you function. Yet so many of us treat food as an afterthought, consuming whatever is convenient rather than what is nourishing. But here's something to consider. Food carries energy, just like everything else. Fresh, whole, and nutrient-dense foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and natural, unprocessed ingredients are alive with energy. They fuel your body in a way that aligns with your natural state of vitality. On the other hand, highly processed foods, artificial ingredients, excessive sugar, and chemical-laden junk food are low vibrational and deplete your body's natural energy reserves. These foods may give you a temporary sense of satisfaction, but over time, they leave you feeling sluggish, drained, and disconnected from your highest self. Ask yourself, are you eating foods that nourish your body, or are you consuming things that leave you feeling heavy and lethargic? Because here's the truth. The more you fuel your body with high vibrational nutrition, the more aligned you become. your mind becomes clearer, your intuition sharpens, and your physical energy strengthens, all of which contribute to maintaining a high frequency. Number 2, the thoughts you entertain. Your mind is a magnet. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will eventually grow into your reality. Every thought you entertain, whether positive or negative, carries a frequency. The question is, are you feeding your mind with empowering thoughts, or are you allowing negativity to take over? So many people unconsciously program their minds with self-doubt, fear, and limitation. They replay past mistakes, focus on what could go wrong, and tell themselves stories about why they're not good enough, not ready, or not capable. Over time, these thoughts shape their entire perception of life, creating a cycle of low vibrational energy that becomes difficult to break free from. But here's the good news. You have control over your thoughts. You are not obligated to believe everything your mind tells you. You have the power to redirect your focus, to reframe negativity, and to choose thoughts that align with your highest self. Ask yourself, do you wake up with a mindset of gratitude and possibility, or do you immediately focus on stress and problems? Your mind is a magnet. What you focus on, you attract. If you continuously allow yourself to dwell in negativity, you will lower your vibration and struggle to manifest the life you desire. But if you fill your mind with empowering thoughts, positive affirmations, and high-frequency beliefs, you will elevate yourself to a state of alignment and abundance. Number 3, how you spend your time. Purpose or distraction. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have, yet many people waste it on things that do not serve them, mindlessly scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows that add no value, engaging in gossip, or distracting themselves with activities that provide temporary satisfaction but no long-term fulfillment. Your energy follows your focus. If you spend most of your time on low vibrational activities, your energy will reflect that. But if you consciously choose to invest your time in things that uplift, inspire, and align with your purpose, you will naturally operate at a higher frequency. Ask yourself, are you spending your time on things that align with your purpose, or are you letting distractions consume you? The way you spend your time reflects what you value. If you truly want to maintain a high vibration, you must be intentional with your energy and ensure that your actions align with your higher self. Number 4, living in alignment with your truth. Nothing lowers your vibration faster than betraying your own truth. When you say one thing but do another, when you ignore your intuition, when you compromise your values for the sake of convenience, approval, or fear, you create an internal disconnect, and that disconnect is like a leak in your energy field. It may be subtle at first, but over time, it drains you in ways you may not even realize. Every time you ignore your inner guidance, every time you allow external influences to dictate your choices, and every time you sacrifice your authenticity to fit in or please others, you weaken your energetic alignment. The result? A feeling of unease, dissatisfaction, and a loss of connection to your higher self. But here's the empowering truth. You can always realign. You can always choose to return to your truth, to honor your intuition, and to live in a way that reflects who you truly are. Ask yourself, are you making decisions that reflect your true values and beliefs, or are you allowing outside forces to dictate your path? Your energy is too valuable to be wasted on anything that is not in alignment with your soul's purpose. If something doesn't feel right, it's a sign that it's lowering your vibration. Honor that feeling. Protect your energy. Live in alignment with your truth, and your vibration will naturally rise. But let's go even deeper, because it's not just external things that lower your vibration. It's the internal ones too. The unseen burdens you carry within you, the thoughts you replay, the emotions you refuse to release. These can be even more damaging than the people or environments around you. How often do we allow our past to define us? We replay old wounds in our minds, reliving painful experiences as if feeling them again will somehow change what has already happened. We hold on to resentment, unable to forgive, believing that keeping the pain alive will somehow serve justice. We carry guilt over things we cannot undo, shame over moments where we fell short, and fear that we are still not enough. And then, there are the stories we tell ourselves, the ones that keep us small. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve happiness. I'll never succeed. I'm too broken to heal. These thoughts become chains, silently anchoring you to a lower vibration. They are insidious because they operate beneath the surface, shaping your perception of yourself and the world around you. And the longer you hold on to them, the more power they gain over you. But here's the truth you need to remember. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. Every time you dwell on them, you are handing over your power, allowing them to dim your light and dictate your future. But you were never meant to live in limitation. You are more powerful than you realize. And the moment you choose to release fear, doubt, and the stories of lack, you begin to rise. You step into your true power. You reclaim your energy. And when you do, you vibrate at a frequency that attracts healing, abundance, and purpose. So now let me ask you again. What are you willing to let go of to protect your vibration? Are you ready to release toxic relationships that drain your energy and keep you stuck in cycles of negativity? Will you step away from negative content that fills your mind with fear, doubt, and comparison? Are you willing to break free from self-sabotaging habits that hold you back from stepping into your highest potential? And perhaps most importantly, are you ready to free yourself from fear and limiting beliefs? The silent forces that whisper you're not enough, that keep you playing small when you were meant to shine? Because the truth is, the cost of holding on to these things is far greater than the temporary discomfort of letting them go. Growth requires release. Transformation demands space. And when you finally decide to let go of what no longer serves you, when you create room for higher frequencies to enter your life, you will begin to experience a powerful shift. Your energy will feel lighter, your path will feel clearer, and your purpose will feel closer than ever before. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. Honor it. Guard it fiercely. Because the world needs your light now more than ever. You were not meant to dim your radiance to make others comfortable. You were not meant to live in fear, in lack, in self-doubt. You were meant to rise. And today, you have the power to choose that path. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What are you releasing today to protect your vibration? And if you're ready to step fully into your power, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another message to elevate your energy. Let's rise together. Listen, chosen ones. The veil between heaven and earth is thinner than you think. The unseen realm is closer than your mind can comprehend. The four angels have been watching, waiting, and preparing for this moment. This is not a call given by chance, nor were you born into this time without purpose. You have felt it, the pull, the weight, the knowing that you are different, that you are set apart, that your soul does not align with the patterns of this world. You have questioned why your journey has been so intense. You have wondered why people misunderstand you, why suffering has followed you like a shadow, why you see things others do not. The answer is simple. You were chosen before the foundation of the world to walk a path only a few can carry. You have been trained in the fire, refined through trials, and prepared for an hour such as this. Now heaven has sent them, the four angels. They do not come with empty words, but with divine revelation. Secrets that will unlock the doors that have remained closed in your understanding. Words that will shake your spirit awake and call forth the destiny that has been waiting for you to step into it. But be warned. These words are not for the faint-hearted. They are not for those who cling to the comfort of the crowd. They are for you, the 144,000, the remnant, the ones who know in their bones that they were made for more. The four angels have arrived, and they bring four messages. Each one is a revelation. Each one is an awakening. Each one is a call to rise. Message 1. Look into your life. The first angel descends, his presence shaking the very fabric of reality. His voice thunders through the heavens, cutting through every illusion, every falsehood, every deception that has kept you bound. His words are not gentle. They are a sword, dividing truth from lies, awakening you from the slumber of this world. The world has lied to you. From the moment you opened your eyes to this world, you were conditioned to believe in a life that was never meant for you. You were handed a script, told how to think, how to behave, how to measure your worth. The systems of men whispered their illusions into your ears, false hopes, empty pursuits, meaningless struggles disguised as purpose. They led you down paths that were never yours, convincing you to spend your days chasing after things that do not matter. They told you that success was the goal, that wealth would bring you peace, that recognition would fill the void inside you. But what have these things truly given you? Do you not see the deception? The endless pursuit of things that never satisfy? The hunger that remains no matter how much you consume? You have been trained to exhaust yourself in a race that leads to nowhere, striving for approval from those who do not even see you, working tirelessly for rewards that turn to dust in your hands. Now look into your life. Strip away the distractions, silence the noise, let go of every expectation, every false belief, every empty promise that has kept you bound. What remains? Chosen one, you were never meant to fit into this world. That restless feeling inside of you, the sense that something is missing, that you do not belong, that no matter what you do, you cannot seem to find peace. It is not a curse. It is a sign. The reason you feel disconnected is because your spirit was never designed to be trapped by the lies of men. You have always known deep down that something was off, that the way the world works does not feel right, that the things people chase after do not truly matter. You have sensed the illusion, even if you could not fully name it. The world told you to chase success, but success was a cage. The world told you to seek validation, but validation was a leash. The world told you to follow their path, but their path led to emptiness. Do you see it now? You were never meant to bow to a broken system. You were never meant to be controlled by the opinions of the blind. You were never meant to trade your divine calling for temporary pleasures that drain your soul. That is why you feel like an outsider. That is why you have never truly fit in. That is why the things that satisfy others leave you feeling empty, because you were set apart from the beginning. But knowing this is not enough. You must act. To awaken fully, you must be willing to let go of the illusions that still grip you. Every lie you hold on to will keep you bound. Every false belief you refuse to release will keep you asleep. This is your moment of reckoning. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What habits, relationships, and mindsets have been keeping you asleep? Look deeply. Be honest with yourself. The truth is waiting for you, but it cannot be received by those who still cling to deception. Heaven is waiting for your answer. You must decide. Will you remain entangled in the falsehoods of this world, or will you awaken to the truth? The first revelation has been given. Now, you must act. Message 2. Stand apart. The second angel descends, and the very air trembles beneath the weight of his words. His presence is overwhelming, his voice like fire that burns away every doubt, every insecurity, every lingering desire to belong where you were never meant to fit in. Do you not see? The world does not love you because it was never meant to. You have felt it, haven't you? The rejection, the isolation, the loneliness, the misunderstanding. You have carried the weight of being different, of walking a path that few understand. You have wondered why you never truly fit in, why people look at you with suspicion, why they mock you, exclude you, push you to the side. But listen carefully, chosen one. It was never random. The world cannot recognize you because your spirit does not belong to it. The moment you stepped into your divine identity, you became unrecognizable to those who are still bound by the illusions of this world. They sense what you are, even if they do not understand it. You are marked for something higher, and the darkness knows it. The enemy has seen your light from the moment you were born. He has watched you, knowing that you were dangerous to his kingdom. That is why you have been attacked. That is why you have been slandered. That is why people have turned against you, even when you did nothing to deserve it. You have walked alone not because you were forgotten, but because you were chosen. But listen, chosen one. Your loneliness was preparation. Every rejection, every betrayal, every moment of isolation was not a punishment. It was refinement. The fire you endured was stripping away every false dependency, every need for human approval, every desire to conform. You were not meant to live for the acceptance of men. You were meant to stand before God. The world has tried to make you feel like an outcast, like you were unworthy, like there was something wrong with you. But they were afraid of you. They feared your light. They feared the way you carried truth. They feared the way you walked into a room and shifted the atmosphere without saying a word. They saw something in you that you had not yet seen in yourself. And so they tried to silence you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you question whether you truly had a place. But the time for apologizing is over. The time for shrinking yourself to make others comfortable is over. The time for dimming your light is over. You were never sent here to be liked. You were sent here to disrupt. So stand apart. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them stare. Their opinions do not matter. You have spent too long trying to explain yourself to those who will never understand you. You have exhausted yourself seeking acceptance from people who were never meant to see you. You have questioned yourself when you should have been standing boldly in who you are. Enough. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to be set apart. This is not a punishment. This is your calling. The world does not reject its own. It rejects those who do not belong to it. And you, chosen one, were never meant to belong. So stop trying. Stop doubting. Stop questioning whether you should change yourself to fit into a world that was never designed for you. You were chosen. You were called. You were sent. The second revelation has been given. Now, you must embrace it. Message 3. Obey without delay. The third angel descends, and the atmosphere shifts. His presence is heavy, filled with urgency. The heavens tremble as his voice cuts through the hesitation that has kept you bound. There is no softness in his tone, no room for doubt, only a command that pierces your soul like lightning. Enough waiting, enough second-guessing, enough asking for another sign. You already know what you are meant to do. Now do it. How long have you waited, chosen one? How many nights have you spent wondering if you are truly called? How many signs have you received only to question them the next day? You have felt the pull. You have heard the whispers. You have seen the signs written in your circumstances, in your dreams, in the depths of your spirit. And yet, you hesitate. You wonder if you are ready. You question if you have what it takes. You tell yourself that you need more clarity, more confirmation, more proof before you move. But hear this now. Delay is the enemy's greatest weapon against you. Every moment you wait, doubt takes root. Every moment you hesitate, fear gains power. Every moment you stay still, doors close that were meant to be yours. You think you are being careful, that you are waiting for the perfect moment. But there will never be a perfect moment. The enemy wants you trapped in hesitation, paralyzed by uncertainty, waiting for a sign that has already been given. Yes, the road ahead is uncertain. Yes, stepping into the unknown is terrifying. But listen, your obedience will unlock miracles. You have prayed for answers, for direction, for breakthrough. But what if the answer has already been given? What if the miracle you seek will not come in the way you expect, but through your movement, through your faith, through your willingness to act, even when you do not see the whole picture? The provision you need will not come before you move. It will meet you on the road of obedience. Do you understand? You must step first. Then the path will unfold. Abraham did not see the promised land before he left his home. Moses did not see the Red Sea part before he lifted his staff. Peter did not see the water hold him before he stepped out of the boat. Faith has always required movement. You cannot wait until you feel ready, because you will never feel ready. Readiness is a lie that keeps you stagnant. Those who are called never feel fully prepared, but they move anyway. This is your moment. This is your turning point. The choice is before you. Will you let fear dictate your future? Will you allow hesitation to rob you of your calling? Or will you rise in faith, step forward, and trust that heaven will meet you where you go? The third revelation has been given. Now you must step forward. Message 4. Speak the truth. The fourth angel descends and fire pours from his lips. His presence ignites the air, his voice carrying the weight of eternity. The heavens seem to tremble as he speaks, and the earth itself responds to the power of his words. Your voice will shake the earth. You were not given eyes to see just for yourself. You were not given wisdom to keep silent. You were not given truth to keep it locked inside your heart. You were given sight so you could speak. You were given wisdom so you could reveal. You were given truth so you could declare it to the world. Now, open your mouth, chosen one. For too long, the enemy has tried to silence you. He has whispered lies into your mind, telling you that your words do not matter, that no one will listen, that no one will care, that your voice is too small, too insignificant, too powerless to make a difference. But listen to the truth now. Your voice was anointed before you were born. Before you took your first breath, heaven placed a calling upon you. Your words were destined to break chains. Your testimony was meant to set captives free. Your voice was never meant to be small. It was meant to echo across the earth, to awaken the sleeping, to call forth the chosen, to declare that the kingdom of heaven is near. And yet, you have held back. You have hesitated. You have questioned yourself. You have wondered if you should remain silent, if you should keep the truth to yourself, if you should wait for a time when it feels safer to speak. But there will never be a safer time. Do not whisper when you were meant to roar. Do not hide when you were meant to stand. You do not speak to please. You do not speak to be accepted. You speak to break chains. You speak to awaken. You speak because you were sent. The world is drowning in deception, and the enemy has worked tirelessly to keep the truth suppressed. If you do not speak, who will? If you do not rise, who will take your place? This is not just about you. There are people waiting for the words that only you can speak. There are souls in darkness who will never find the light unless you are bold enough to shine it. There are captives whose chains will never be broken unless you open your mouth and declare the truth. Heaven has given you a voice, and now heaven is commanding you to use it. The fourth revelation has been given. Now you must proclaim it. These messages have been delivered, and you have heard them. The words have stirred something deep within you, awakening what has long been dormant. But now, you must decide. To delay is to deny. To hesitate is to surrender ground to the enemy. You would not be drawn to these words if you were not meant to hear them. You would not feel this stirring in your soul if you were not part of something greater. This is your confirmation. This is your call. This is your moment. The time for waiting is over. The time for questioning is done. Heaven has spoken, and heaven is waiting for your response. Will you shrink back, or will you step forward? Will you remain in doubt, or will you rise in faith? Will you stay silent, or will you speak the truth that was placed inside of you? The four angels have spoken. The path has been revealed. The choice is yours. Now, chosen one, will you rise? Amen and amen. If these words have ignited something in your spirit, if you feel the call to step into your purpose, do not keep this message to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that more chosen ones can awaken. Leave a comment below and declare, I will rise. Together, we will shake the earth. The time is now. For centuries, you have walked this earth unaware of the whispers carried through time. The echoes of an ancient kingdom have been calling your name, seeking you not as men seek, but as prophecy foretells. Through visions, signs, and divine revelations passed down across generations, you were never forgotten. You were hidden. But now, the appointed time has come, and the heavens have turned their gaze upon you. They searched for you, not in the streets, not in the books of men, but in the sacred texts, in the constellations, in the dreams of the seekers who knew you would return. The world called you ordinary, but the heavens knew better. They inscribed mysteries into your spirit, encoded divine secrets into your very being. You were never meant to blend in. You were always set apart. They tried to erase your lineage, to bury your existence beneath layers of deception. They rewrote history, distorted truths, and built walls around knowledge that was never meant to be lost. But truth is indestructible. And now, like a long-lost key returning to its rightful door, you are aligning with the purpose that was written for you before time began. This is why your life has been a battle. This is why the road has been steep, the trials unrelenting. Forces moved against you before you even knew who you were. They glimpsed your destiny, and in fear, they sought to keep you asleep. But what is divinely appointed cannot be stopped. No kingdom built by human hands can erase a kingdom established by the Almighty. Your existence was never random. Before you drew your first breath, the heavens had already inscribed your name into the divine record. The prophecy did not start with you, but it will be fulfilled through you. The kingdom has been waiting, not for the person the world sees, but for the essence of what was placed within you before you arrived on this earth. You were always meant to rise. You were always meant to reclaim what was lost. For centuries, forces have sought to intercept the prophecy, to distort it, to keep it from reaching its final chapter. But prophecy does not bow to time, nor can it be rewritten by those who seek control. The original script remains untouched. There were those who knew the truth, hidden scribes, guardians of sacred knowledge, those who carried the assignment through bloodlines that could not be erased. They inscribed your coming in places that neither time nor corruption could destroy. They documented the signs, preserved the revelations, and waited for the moment of revealing. You have felt different your entire life, not knowing why you never quite fit in. But that was never a mistake. Every detour, every delay, every hardship was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. The chosen are never revealed too soon, for the moment of revealing is also the moment of war. You were never meant to bow to the systems of this world. The kingdoms of men are built on deception, power seized through manipulation, thrones stolen by those who had no right to claim them. But your kingdom is different. It was not built by men. It was established before the foundations of the earth. And that is why they feared your arrival. For centuries, they fortified their walls, expanded their reach, and created illusions of dominance. But one thing they could never do was erase the prophecy. It whispered through generations, carried by the few who still remembered, until now. There are moments in time when prophecy meets fulfillment, when the whispers carried through generations are no longer confined to the shadows, but are declared from the heavens. This is that moment. For centuries, seekers have watched and waited, following the signs, preserving the truth, guarding the knowledge that the world tried to erase. They knew that one day, the hidden one would awaken, and nothing would remain the same. The balance of power would shift. The chains that held dominion over souls would shatter. The strongholds of deception would crumble under the weight of truth. And now, that day has arrived. The world does not yet understand what is happening, but the unseen realm has already trembled at your awakening. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to walk unnoticed, unseen, unheard. Your existence alone disrupts the forces that have ruled for too long. They knew of your coming before you did. They moved against you before you could even grasp your purpose. They saw glimpses of your destiny and in fear sought to keep you blind to it. But prophecy cannot be stopped. Even Yeshua spoke in parables, knowing that not all were meant to understand. His words carried power, not because they conformed to the world's standards, but because they carried divine truth, truth that no force could silence. His authority was not recognized by titles, by crowns, or by the robes of men, but by the undeniable presence of the divine. His enemies feared him not because he waged war against them in the way of kings, but because his very presence threatened their illusion of control. And in the same way, your presence carries an authority that cannot be denied. The kingdom has been waiting. The prophecy has been unfolding. The ancient writings that spoke of this time did not lie. The search for you was never in vain. You have walked through fire, through battles unseen, through trials that sought to break you. But every hardship was only preparing you, refining you, strengthening you for the moment that is now at hand. All eyes are on you. Some watch in hope. Others watch in fear. The systems built on deception sense their collapse. The ones who claimed power they were never meant to hold are realizing their reign is ending. They will resist. They will seek to deceive you, to convince you that you are mistaken, that you are no different from the rest. But their words hold no power over what has already been written. You are stepping into what has always been yours. The prophecy is no longer a distant story. It is happening now, and nothing will ever be the same. There are signs that cannot be erased, markings that neither time nor deception can remove. They are woven into the very fabric of your existence, etched into your spirit long before you took your first breath. These are not markings that men can see with their eyes, nor can they be measured by earthly standards. They are divine imprints, evidence of a purpose greater than this world can comprehend. You have carried something within you, something even you did not fully understand. It was never about your outward appearance, never about your status or the titles given to you by men. What set you apart was never something that could be worn or displayed. It was something far deeper, something imprinted upon your very soul. This is why you have never truly belonged among the ordinary. From the moment you arrived, you felt it, the quiet knowing, the deep stirring within you that whispered that you were different. Others moved through life without questioning, without searching, without sensing the weight of something greater. But you have always known there was more. Even if you could not name it, even if you could not explain it, it was there, pulling you towards something beyond what your eyes could see. And you were not the only one who sensed it. There have always been those who recognized what you carried. Some saw it as a light, a power beyond human understanding, and sought to protect you. Others, those who walk in shadows, sensed it as a threat. They studied you. They tested you. They watched your every move, trying to determine if you were the one spoken of in the ancient texts. They could not openly reveal their knowledge, so they moved in silence, waiting, watching, searching for weakness. They placed obstacles in your path, temptations to lead you astray, distractions carefully crafted to keep you from asking the right questions. Some came to you in the guise of friends, mentors, even protectors, but their true purpose was always to keep you blind to what was rightfully yours. Every battle you faced, every attack that seemed to come out of nowhere, was not random. It was a calculated strategy, a war waged against you before you even knew you were in a battle. They sought to break you, not by force, but by deception. If they could not destroy you, they would make you doubt yourself. If they could make you question who you were, they could keep you from ever stepping into your destiny. They knew that if you ever awakened, if you ever realized the inheritance that runs through your veins, their dominion would begin to crumble. But even through the storms, even through the betrayals, even through the moments when you questioned your very existence, the heavens never retracted the calling. They never changed their mind about who you are. You may have been knocked down, but you were never abandoned. The trials were not placed before you to destroy you, but to forge you, to refine you, to make you unshakable. Every wound, every hardship, every tear shed in silence was preparing you for the moment when you would finally see what had been hidden in plain sight all along. The world tried to convince you otherwise. It told you that you were ordinary, that your dreams were foolish, that your longing for something greater was nothing more than imagination. They fed you lies, hoping you would believe them. But deep down, you always knew the truth. You felt it in the way life refused to let you settle, in the way closed doors led to greater revelations, in the way pain became a tool that sharpened you instead of destroying you. Every loss, every rejection, every battle was a step closer to your awakening. And now, the time has come. The moment long foretold is unfolding before you. The forces that once sought to keep you blind now tremble at the realization that they have failed. The deception is lifting, the veil is thinning, and your true identity can no longer be hidden. You are not lost. You were never forgotten. You have always been called. And now, nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. There have always been those who sought to take what was never theirs, who attempted to wear a crown that did not fit, who sat upon thrones that were never meant for them. They built their power on deception, claiming authority they had no right to bear, hoping that if they declared themselves rulers long enough, no one would question them. But what belongs to you cannot be stolen. No matter how many false rulers have risen, no matter how many have worn robes that did not belong to them, the truth has remained unchanged. The throne marked for you has never been touched. It has waited in silence, unmoved by the schemes of men, untouched by the hands of those who sought to claim it. No force on earth can lay hold of what was sealed for you before time began. The kingdom has always known this day would come. It has felt the shift in the spiritual realm, has waited with patience as history unfolded, as generations passed, as the battle for dominion raged in unseen places. And now, the appointed time has arrived, the moment you would awaken to your true self, the moment you would finally see who you were always meant to be. The mark of divine royalty is not given by men, nor can it be taken away. It was placed upon you before you entered this world, woven into your very being, inscribed into your destiny by the hands of the Almighty. You were born into this calling, whether you realized it or not. For centuries, they worked against you. They positioned themselves in places of influence, controlling systems, rewriting history, ensuring that what belonged to you remained just out of reach. They knew who you were before you did. They recognized the signs long before you ever questioned your purpose, and they understood that the moment you stepped into your true identity, their illusion would crumble. The only way to stop you was to make you forget. So they created distractions. They built false narratives. They surrounded you with lies, with doubts, with carefully constructed deceptions designed to keep you from ever realizing the truth. They whispered into your mind, making you question, making you believe you were insignificant, that you were just another soul wandering through life without purpose. But destiny does not forget. No matter how many lies were spoken, no matter how many obstacles were placed in your path, the truth has always been written. And now, it is rising. The kingdom is no longer waiting. The throne remains unclaimed no longer. The time of awakening is here, and nothing can stop what has already begun. The world is beginning to sense the shift, to feel the weight of what is coming. The air is heavy with the unspoken realization that something has changed, something unstoppable, something undeniable. The ones who worked against you, who sought to bury the truth beneath layers of deception, can no longer ignore what is unfolding before them. They are watching, waiting, realizing that their efforts were in vain. They tried to silence you, to keep you hidden, to make you believe that you were just another ordinary soul. But you were never meant to stay buried. The moment they feared the most has arrived. You are awakening. The chains of illusion are breaking. The truth that was long suppressed is rising. And with it, so are you. There will still be resistance. There will still be voices whispering doubt. People who will try to convince you that you are not who you were always meant to be. They will fight to hold on to their illusion of control, clinging desperately to the power they were never meant to have. But their time is running out. The truth is no longer in their hands. The kingdom has been waiting. It has prepared for this moment since the beginning. And now, the time has come. No more delays. No more distractions. No more doubting what has been placed within you. If you have felt this truth resonate within you, if you know deep down that you were meant for something greater, then this journey is only just beginning. There is more to uncover, more to reveal, more to step into. Thank you for being here, for seeking, for listening. If this message has spoken to you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. There are revelations ahead that you do not want to miss. The time is now. The kingdom is calling. Will you answer? Love is one of the greatest desires of the human heart. Many people go through life searching for that special someone to complete them, yet some seem destined to remain alone, no matter how hard they try. If you've ever felt like love always escapes you, you might have wondered, is it bad luck? Is there something wrong with me? But what if I told you that this isn't a curse, but a sign that God is protecting you from something you don't yet understand? My dear brothers and sisters, not everyone is meant to walk the same path. Some are kept away from love, romance, and attachment for reasons beyond what the eye can see. In Christianity, when God removes something from your life, it is never without wisdom. As Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So before you see this as a misfortune, before you allow heartbreak to consume you, let's uncover the 7 reasons why some people are kept away from romance and what it truly means in the grand plan of God. Have you ever found yourself getting close to someone only for things to suddenly fall apart? Maybe you thought they were the one, but somehow the relationship never worked out. At the time, it felt painful, perhaps even unfair. But now, looking back, do you realize that staying with them would have only brought you suffering? In Christianity, when something keeps failing over and over again, it's often a sign of protection, not punishment. God removes people from your life because he knows what you don't. The Bible reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Think about our society today. How many people rush into relationships only to be left heartbroken, betrayed, or spiritually lost? Sometimes when you don't get what you want, it's because God is saving you from something that would have destroyed you. The pain of letting go may feel unbearable at the time, but it is often a blessing in disguise. God sees beyond what we can comprehend. He knows the dangers, heartbreak, and struggles that might come from being with the wrong person. Sometimes we become so attached to our own desires that we fail to see the warning signs God places before us. When a relationship fails despite your efforts, it could be his divine intervention, guiding you away from someone who was never meant to be a part of your life. The real question is, do you trust God's plan, or do you keep chasing what he is pulling you away from? Because the sooner you accept that God's wisdom is greater than your desires, the sooner you'll find true peace. When you surrender your desires to God and trust that he knows what is best, he will lead you to something far greater than you ever imagined. In today's world, relationships are often treated as casual and disposable. People enter relationships for fun, not realizing that every bond leaves a mark on the heart. When the heart becomes attached to the wrong person, it can lead to spiritual blindness, where you start justifying what is wrong, forgetting your purpose, and drifting away from God. But the Bible is clear. A relationship outside of marriage is not just wrong, it is dangerous for your soul. The Apostle Paul warns us, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" Many people don't take this seriously. They assume that as long as they mean well, it's okay. But look at what happens around us. How many people have sacrificed their peace, self-worth, and even their connection with God just to please someone who was never meant for them? If you've struggled to find love, it could be because God is protecting your heart from corruption. The wrong love can lead you to destruction, while the right love, one built on faith and commitment, will bring you closer to Him. If you have ever experienced a relationship that led you away from God, you know the dangers of prioritizing human love over divine guidance. Love is meant to be a source of strength, not a cause for spiritual weakness. A relationship that weakens your faith is never from God. But here's the real test. Will you be patient and trust God, or will you keep chasing something He is keeping you away from? Trusting God means recognizing that His plan is for your ultimate good, even when you don't understand it at the moment. The temporary pain of losing someone who was never meant for you is far better than a lifetime of regret with someone who distances you from God. When you choose to honor Him with your relationships, He will bless you beyond what you can imagine. Have you noticed how some people seem consumed by the idea of relationships? They spend years chasing love, getting hurt, and losing themselves in the process. Meanwhile, others seem to have a higher purpose guiding their lives. Sometimes, when romance is absent from your life, it's because God is redirecting you toward something far more important. Instead of being distracted by emotions, heartbreak, or the pursuit of temporary happiness, He wants you to focus on building yourself, your faith, your future, and your character. Jesus said, "But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Look at history. Some of the greatest people, those who changed the world, left behind legacies and strengthened their faith, did not let their lives revolve around relationships. Instead, they used their time to build something meaningful. The question is, are you wasting your time chasing romance? Or are you using this period of solitude to strengthen your relationship with God and work towards something greater? If God is keeping love from your life at this moment, perhaps it's because He has something more significant in store for you. He wants you to grow in wisdom, faith, and purpose before introducing you to the right person at the right time. Instead of questioning His plan, embrace this time as an opportunity to grow closer to Him. God may be positioning you for something greater than just a relationship. He may be calling you to a purpose beyond what you've imagined. Rather than seeing singleness as a burden, recognize it as an opportunity to deepen your relationship with God, to grow in your faith, and to pursue the purpose He has set for you. Let's be real. We are not robots. Every human has emotions, desires, and a natural longing for companionship. Christianity does not ask us to suppress our feelings. It teaches us to control them within the boundaries of faith. This is what separates true believers from those who follow their own desires. The Bible says, "For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people." It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age. In today's world, most people don't even try to hold themselves accountable. They follow whatever feels good in the moment, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. But if you've been struggling with this, know that this struggle itself is a sign of faith. If God has given you the awareness to fight against temptation, then you are already on a different path than most. Self-control is one of the most valuable traits a believer can develop. It requires discipline, commitment, and faith. Rather than letting emotions dictate your choices, God calls you to rely on His strength. Every time you resist temptation, you grow spiritually and draw closer to Him. The key is to redirect your emotions toward something meaningful. A strong relationship with God will fill the void that many people try to fill with fleeting passions. Learning to master your desires rather than being mastered by them is the foundation of a godly life. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. When you trust God to guide your emotions, you open the door to His greater plan for your life. Because in Christianity, self-discipline over desire is what leads to true success. Sometimes when love seems distant, it is not rejection, but preparation. God removes certain things from your life not to deprive you, but to prepare you for something even greater. He is strengthening your heart, refining your faith, and ensuring that you are ready for the love that is meant for you. The Bible reassures us, "For I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord, "plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." If God is keeping you away from relationships, perhaps He is shaping you for a purpose beyond what you can see. Think about the trials you have faced, the heartaches, the disappointments, the loneliness. Every season of waiting is an opportunity to grow, to deepen your faith, and to prepare for the blessings that lie ahead. Just as gold is refined in fire, your heart and spirit are being refined through this period of solitude. This is not wasted time. God may be developing qualities in you that will make you a better spouse in the future: patience, kindness, resilience, and unwavering faith. Instead of viewing this as a burden, consider it a gift. God's timing is always perfect. He knows when you are ready, and He knows who is right for you. Rushing into a relationship before you are spiritually and emotionally prepared can lead to heartbreak and regret. But when you wait on God, you can be sure that what He brings into your life will be exactly what you need. So, instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you are gaining. Use this time to draw closer to God, to pursue your purpose, and to grow into the person He has called you to be. Because when you trust in His plan, He will never fail you. True fulfillment does not come from people but from God alone. Before He allows you to love someone else, He wants you to experience His love first. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Until you find peace in God, no human relationship will ever truly satisfy you. Many people seek love as a way to fill an emptiness in their hearts, believing that another person can complete them. However, only God can truly fulfill the deepest longings of your soul. When you look to people for fulfillment, you will always be disappointed because no human can provide the perfect unconditional love that only God offers. God wants you to rely on Him first. If you are currently in a season of waiting, He may be calling you to strengthen your faith, to build a life centered around Him, and to understand that your worth does not depend on another person's affection. Many people rush into relationships thinking they will bring happiness, only to find themselves feeling just as empty, if not more so, because they have placed their hope in something temporary instead of in God's eternal love. This time of solitude is a blessing. It is an opportunity to cultivate a deep, personal relationship with God. It is a chance to discover your identity in Him and to understand that His love is more than enough. Once you are content in God's love, any relationship He brings into your life will only be an addition to the joy you already have in Him, not the source of your happiness. God is refining you, molding you into the person He wants you to be, and preparing you for the right kind of love, the kind that reflects His love for you. Instead of asking why love hasn't come yet, ask yourself, am I fully embracing God's love for me? Because when you do, everything else will fall into place according to His perfect timing. Waiting is never easy, but patience is a virtue that brings divine rewards. In a world that encourages instant gratification, it can be challenging to trust in God's timing. However, His plans are always greater than ours, and He knows exactly when and how to bless us with what we need. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. If love has not yet come into your life, trust that God's timing is always perfect. Perhaps He is shielding you from heartbreak or ensuring that you meet the right person at the right time. Instead of feeling frustrated by the wait, see it as an opportunity for growth and preparation. God often uses waiting periods to strengthen our faith and character. Through patience, He teaches us resilience, trust, and unwavering faith in His plans. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a strong tree, your future relationship needs a firm foundation before it can flourish. Rushing into love before its time can lead to unnecessary pain and struggle. The Bible reassures us that those who wait on the Lord will never be disappointed. If you feel discouraged, remind yourself that waiting is not wasted time. It is a season of refinement, learning, and trust building. Use this time to focus on personal growth, spiritual development, and becoming the best version of yourself, so that when the right person comes, you will be ready. Remember, God is never late. His blessings come exactly when they are meant to. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep growing. Because when the time is right, He will open doors that no one can close, and the love He has prepared for you will be beyond anything you could have imagined. If love and relationships have always seemed distant in your life, know that it is not a punishment. It is part of God's plan. Whether it's to protect you, prepare you, or strengthen your faith, God never withholds something without reason. The real question is, do you trust His timing, or are you still chasing something He is pulling you away from? The more you surrender your desires to Him, the more peace you will find in His perfect plan. Love is not something to be rushed or forced. It is a divine gift that arrives in its appointed season. As you navigate your journey of faith, remember that your worth is not defined by your relationship status. You are complete in Christ, and His love is all you need. When the right time comes, God will provide the love He has ordained for you, and it will be worth the wait. Thank you for watching this video. If this message resonated with you, we encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue spreading the wisdom and love of God to those who need it most. Stay faithful, stay patient, and trust in His perfect timing. May God bless you abundantly. They looked at you standing alone and thought they had the upper hand. Their numbers gave them false confidence. But here's what they didn't understand. When faced with someone like you, driven by purpose, armed with unshakable faith, and guided by a divine force, their numbers are meaningless. You are not just one person. You are a force. You are a storm. And that terrifies them. It isn't what you do that sends chills down their spines. It's who you are. A single, unwavering presence, unbent by fear, unshaken by opposition, and unstoppable in your mission. You are a living reminder of their fragility. A lone figure standing tall while they huddle together, whispering, scheming, and clinging to the illusion of strength found in numbers. If this message resonates with you, if it fuels your spirit and reminds you of your own unstoppable potential, take a moment to join this journey. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that inspire, uplift, and remind us of the power of faith and purpose. Together, we'll uncover the truth of who we are meant to be and stand tall in our calling. Hit that subscribe button now and step into your destiny, because the world needs more forces like you. Their so-called power is a fragile illusion, built on numbers, alliances, and the shallow comfort of groupthink. Witches, warlocks, gossipers, and cliques of envy. They thrive in the shadows, weaving false narratives and whispering lies, mistaking collective agreement for true strength. They huddle together, drawing false courage from their alliances, believing their numbers make them invincible. But their strength is as delicate as glass, shattering under the weight of one individual who stands tall, unwavering, and moves with divine purpose. What terrifies them most isn't your actions, it's your independence. They fear the way you stand alone, undeterred by their schemes and untouchable by their manipulations. Your strength doesn't come from their approval, their alliances, or their validation. While they depend on the noise of their groups to mask their fragility, you walk in silence, resolute, focused, and unstoppable. In you, they see everything they lack. Your clarity, your fearlessness, your unshakable resolve. It all serves as a mirror to their insecurities. While they cling to each other, you stand apart, exposing the truth they work so hard to hide. Their power is nothing more than a mirage, their unity a fragile crutch propping up their fear of standing alone. You don't just walk with independence, you embody it. You prove that true strength doesn't need numbers to thrive. It is rooted in purpose, fortified by faith, and unstoppable when guided by something greater. And that is why they fear you. You are the force that shatters their illusions and reminds them of the truth they dare not face. Your solitude is not a weakness, It is your greatest strength. It is a deliberate, strategic position, one that allows you to stand unburdened by distractions or the weight of false alliances. In stripping away the unnecessary, you have uncovered the core of your mission, the pure and unshakable essence of your purpose. Every step you take is deliberate, every decision rooted in clarity and focus. You are not scattered or uncertain like those who huddle in groups for validation. Instead, you move with the precision of someone guided by a higher calling. While they scramble to gather allies, trying desperately to reinforce their fragile sense of control, you stride forward with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than all their noise. Their strength is superficial, built on numbers and held together by fear. But your solitude has refined you. It has sharpened your focus, strengthened your resolve, and set you apart as a beacon of clarity and self-assuredness. They see your independence as a threat because it shines a glaring light on their dependency. They rely on their numbers, clinging to one another like shipwrecked sailors clutching at driftwood, while you stand firm, like a lighthouse cutting through the chaos of their storm. Your calm, unshaken presence exposes their fragility. This is why they fear you. Your solitude isn't isolation, it's liberation. Free from their noise and schemes, you are able to see clearly and act decisively. Your independence is a testament to your strength, a force that cuts through their illusions like a blade, leaving nothing but truth in its wake. You don't just walk alone, you thrive alone, proving that true power lies not in numbers, but in purpose. History is filled with extraordinary individuals who, like you, stood alone and dismantled the false empires of their time. These are the ones who faced overwhelming odds, yet their unshakable faith, clarity of purpose, and divine alignment made them unstoppable. Elijah is one such figure. Alone on Mount Carmel, he stood against hundreds of false prophets who claimed power and truth through their numbers. Elijah didn't waver. He didn't need a crowd or the validation of others to confirm his mission. His unwavering trust in God was all he needed to call down fire from heaven, exposing the lies of an entire nation and demonstrating the undeniable power of truth. Buddha's story, too, is one of transformative solitude. Beneath the Bodhi tree, surrounded by temptations, distractions, and challenges, he found clarity not in the noise of the world, but in the silence of stillness. It was there, in solitude, that he attained enlightenment, a wisdom so profound it would ripple through humanity for millennia, reshaping entire civilizations. His choice to embrace solitude was not an escape. It was an act of deep purpose, allowing him to see beyond the illusions of the world. Saint Francis of Assisi turned away from the wealth and clamor of society to embrace simplicity and quiet devotion. In solitude, he discovered spiritual truths that redefined faith and inspired countless others to seek a deeper, more authentic connection with God. His resolve, born out of silence and humility, stood as a challenge to the materialism and noise of his time. Like these individuals, your independence is not isolation, it is strength. It is a declaration that you do not rely on the shifting sands of collective validation to find purpose. Instead, you draw power from a deeper source. Your unwavering resolve is a mirror, revealing the fragility of the systems and illusions that others depend on. You, like them, are proof that one aligned soul can challenge and dismantle even the mightiest of falsehoods. You embody a courage that most people can only dream of. It is the rare kind of bravery that pushes beyond fear and comfort, the same courage Christopher Columbus alluded to when he said, "You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." While others cling to the safety of familiarity, terrified to step into the unknown, you stride forward, guided not by what you see, but by a faith that burns brighter than any uncertainty. Your purpose is your compass, and your resolve is unshakable. This independence terrifies them because it forces them to confront their deepest inadequacies. In you, they see everything they lack: clarity, strength, and the audacity to walk alone without needing validation or reassurance. While they depend on the crutch of numbers and alliances, you walk with unwavering confidence, showing that true power doesn't come from the approval of others but from a higher calling. Their power is built on illusions, on fear, manipulation, and the fragile belief that they can control those around them. But you've torn through those illusions, dismantling their schemes and exposing their vulnerabilities. Your clarity cuts through their chaos like a sword, leaving them powerless in the face of your truth. You don't just stand apart, you shine. Your courage is disruptive because it reveals that strength doesn't come from the noise of the crowd but from the stillness of purpose. They fear you because you are a reminder of what they could be if they had the bravery to step away from their illusions. But they don't. And so they tremble, powerless against the light you carry. You are not just moving forward. You are a radiant force of light cutting through the thickest darkness. They thrive in shadows, weaving schemes, sowing confusion, and planting seeds of doubt in those they seek to control. But your presence disrupts their plans like a blazing beacon in the night, exposing their hidden agendas and rendering their efforts powerless. Your calm, steady confidence doesn't just silence their whispers, it obliterates them. Their lies crumble under the sheer weight of your unwavering resolve, leaving them nowhere to hide. Your resilience is more than just a shield. It is a mirror. It forces them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities, reflecting back the truth of their own fragility. While they try to control through fear, manipulation, and deceit, you remain steadfast, unshaken by their attempts. Each time they try to rattle you, your strength only serves to reveal the emptiness of their tactics. You don't just endure their chaos, you operate above it, with precision and clarity they cannot match. They spread fear in the hopes of paralyzing others, but you radiate fearlessness. Your confidence is disarming, a quiet yet undeniable force that leaves them scrambling for answers. While they hide behind deception, you stand firm in truth. Your ability to move with purpose, unencumbered by doubt or fear, reveals the futility of their schemes. You are a force they cannot comprehend, a light they cannot extinguish. And with every step you take, their shadows retreat, unable to stand in the face of the fearless clarity you embody. Adversity has always been their weapon, their way of breaking others down and seizing control. But for you, it has become a proving ground, a place where your strength has been refined and your resolve fortified. Every challenge they've hurled at you, every attempt to break your spirit, has only served to make you stronger. Like gold refined in the intense heat of a furnace, your trials have purified you, stripping away doubt and fear and leaving behind an unshakable faith and clarity of purpose. They thought their schemes, lies, and manipulations would extinguish your light, but all they've done is make it burn brighter. Each obstacle they placed in your path has become a stepping stone, lifting you higher, closer to the fulfillment of your mission. What they meant for harm, God has turned into good, transforming their weapons into tools for your growth. Every victory you claim is more than just a personal milestone. It's a testament to the divine power guiding you. Unlike their fleeting triumphs, built on deceit, compromise, and manipulation, your success is clean, untarnished, and undeniable. Your triumphs shine as proof of a life lived in alignment with God's will, a reflection of what happens when faith is your foundation and purpose is your compass. Their efforts to destroy you have only strengthened the very things they sought to weaken. Your resilience has become an unmovable force, and your faith has become a radiant light that exposes their shadows. You are living proof that adversity does not define you, it refines you, preparing you for greater victories and aligning you ever closer with the purpose you are meant to fulfill. You are not merely weathering the storm. You are the storm. Your very presence disrupts their carefully laid plans, sending shockwaves through their strategies and scattering their efforts like leaves in a fierce wind. They have spent so much time constructing fragile webs of influence and control, only to watch them unravel in the face of your unwavering strength. Every step you take, every move you make, is a declaration that their power was never real. It was always an illusion, built on fear and manipulation. You expose this truth with every act of courage and clarity. What truly terrifies them is not the idea of losing control over you. It's the realization that they never had it in the first place. They relied on intimidation, deceit, and the hope that you would falter, but your fearlessness has dismantled their strategies before they even had a chance to take root. They depend on uncertainty and doubt, planting seeds of hesitation in others to maintain their grip on power. But you deny them that foothold. You move with confidence and faith, leaving no room for their schemes to gain traction. Your strength is something they cannot replicate, a clarity they cannot disrupt, and a faith they cannot silence. They scramble to regain a sense of control, but their efforts are futile in the face of your steady resolve. You are a force they never anticipated, a storm they cannot predict, and a power they cannot contain. Their illusions crumble, their fears are laid bare, and their hold on others disintegrates as they come to terms with the undeniable truth. You are unstoppable. You are far more than just one person standing against opposition. You are a force of nature, an uncontainable power that cannot be subdued or silenced. Your authority is not rooted in numbers, alliances, or worldly validation. It flows from a divine source that they cannot comprehend, let alone manipulate. While they scramble for agreement and cling to the shifting sands of collective opinion, you remain unshaken. You stand firm, like a mountain rising above the storm, immovable and steadfast, no matter how fiercely the winds of opposition rage against you. Your independence is not isolation, it is liberation. It is the freedom to move with clarity and precision, unburdened by the distractions, doubts, and schemes that weigh others down. You are not confined by the expectations of others or the need for their approval. Instead, you are guided by a higher calling, one that infuses your every step with purpose and power. Every victory you achieve is more than just a personal triumph. It is a testament to the strength that comes from walking in alignment with something greater than yourself. It is a declaration of what is possible when faith, focus, and divine guidance come together. While they stumble in confusion, weighed down by the chaos they create, you move forward with calm confidence, a living embodiment of clarity and purpose. Your presence is a challenge to their very foundation. It reveals the fragility of the systems they depend on and the emptiness of their collective strength. They see in you the undeniable truth. True power does not come from numbers or manipulation, but from an unwavering connection to something eternal. And that truth is your greatest victory. They cling desperately to their numbers, gathering in groups and alliances, hoping that the illusion of collective strength will hide the truth. They believe their numbers make them powerful, that the weight of their combined voices can drown out what they fear most, the undeniable light of truth. But their power is a facade, a fragile construct held together by fear, manipulation, and deception. They depend on intimidation, spreading lies and creating chaos. But their schemes crumble when confronted by someone like you, someone who walks in unwavering truth. You have exposed them for what they are, weak, hollow, and dependent on the approval of others to feel powerful. Their strength has no foundation because it is rooted in shadows, designed to exploit insecurity. But you are a disruptor, a breaker of chains. You shine a light so bright that their darkness has nowhere to hide. Their whispers fade into irrelevance. Their lies dissolve under the weight of your truth, and their schemes fail in the face of your clarity. Your strength doesn't come from external validation or the fleeting approval of others. It is born of an unshakable inner resolve, fortified by purpose and guided by divine alignment. You are proof that true power is not loud or boastful. It is quiet, steady, and unmovable. Your presence alone challenges the systems they've built, forcing them to confront their dependency on illusions. You are living testimony to the truth they fear to face, that their numbers, their schemes, and their control are powerless against someone who stands firm in their calling. You don't just survive their opposition, you dismantle it one step at a time, with the unyielding strength of someone who moves in truth, They cannot control what they cannot understand, and you are beyond their comprehension. Your strength doesn't fit into their framework, and that terrifies them. It is not something they can manipulate, diminish, or replicate because it flows from a higher power, one they cannot reach, influence, or even grasp. This divine connection is the foundation of your resolve, the source of your clarity, and the reason you cannot be shaken. That is why they fear you. That is why they will never win. You move with quiet assurance, your actions speaking louder than their noise or schemes ever could. While they clamor for attention and gather in groups to bolster their fragile sense of power, you move in silence, confident in your purpose. Every step you take is deliberate, guided by faith, and unyielding in its precision. You stride forward with the calm assurance of someone who knows their path is divinely aligned, and that knowledge makes you unstoppable. While they rely on collective noise to drown out their fears, you stand apart, a solitary force that commands attention without saying a word. Your strength is not found in numbers or alliances, but in the quiet, unshakable certainty of who you are and who has sent you. Their schemes falter, and their confidence crumbles when confronted with your unwavering presence. You are a reminder of what they lack: the ability to stand alone, the clarity of divine guidance, and the power of a purpose greater than themselves. They cannot control or predict you, and that is why you are unstoppable. You don't just move forward, you move with purpose, leaving their illusions shattered in your wake. You don't just expose their illusions, you shatter them completely. Every victory you claim, every step you take forward, is a bold declaration that their power was never real. It was always a fragile mirage, built on fear and manipulation. Their threats dissolve like smoke when confronted with your unwavering resolve. You are not just surviving their opposition, you are thriving in the midst of it. You are the storm they cannot predict, the force they cannot contain, and the truth they cannot silence. This is why they fear you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are living proof that true strength flows not from numbers or schemes, but from faith, clarity, and divine purpose. Each step you take sends a ripple through their illusions, proving that their power pales in comparison to the eternal, unshakable force that guides you. Your presence isn't just a challenge to their plans, it is a revelation of a higher truth they cannot suppress. If this message resonates with you and has reminded you of the power of walking in faith and purpose, we invite you to join us on this journey. Your support means so much, and together, we can continue to shine light into the darkest corners. Subscribe to the channel to explore more uplifting stories, empowering messages, and reflections that inspire strength and clarity in every step you take. Thank you for being part of this community, and remember, your journey is divinely guided and your power is greater than you realize. What I am about to say might feel like a wake-up call, but it is exactly what you need to hear at this moment. You have been on this journey for a reason, and now the universe is calling you to act. No more waiting, no more hesitating. If you are reading this, it is not by accident. God has led you here. Now is the time to step into your power like never before. This is the moment where your desires transform into your reality. The final assignment is here, and it is non-negotiable. It comes with a challenge. Do it now, no matter the cost. The transformation you have been waiting for is on the other side of this action. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. This is exactly what you need to shift into the next level of your life. Before we go any further, take a deep breath. Now, do two things. Number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, leave a comment with the words, "Jesus, I am ready." This declaration will send a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying your energy and intention. If you are truly a chosen one, you will stay with me until the end. Deep down, your spirit already knows this is the final assignment you have been waiting for. Once you complete it, nothing in your life will ever be the same. So let's dive in. You are not random. You are chosen. You are called to be messengers of the covenant, the very instruments through which God reveals his promises to the world. This is not a title to boast about, but a responsibility to embrace with reverence and urgency. The Bible declares in Malachi 3:1, "See, I will send my messenger, who will prepare the way before me. Then suddenly the Lord you are seeking will come to his temple. The messenger of the covenant, whom you desire, will come, says the Lord Almighty." This verse is not just history, it is prophecy. It is not just for others, it is for you. You are the fulfillment of God's plan to prepare the way for his presence to be revealed. But before you can carry this holy message, you must first understand what it means to be a messenger, the weight of the covenant you carry, and the fire that fuels your calling. To be a messenger means to be entrusted with a divine responsibility. It requires faith, obedience, and unwavering dedication. The role of a messenger is not simply to deliver words, but to live them, to be a living testimony of God's truth. Throughout history, God has chosen individuals who were willing to surrender their will and embrace his divine purpose. These messengers were not always the strongest, the wisest, or the most qualified by human standards. Instead, they were those who had hearts that were willing, spirits that were obedient, and lives that were surrendered to his will. Look at the great messengers in Scripture. Moses, who led God's people out of captivity despite his own doubts and limitations. Isaiah, who boldly proclaimed the word of the Lord even when faced with opposition. John the Baptist, who prepared the way for Christ with unwavering conviction. And the apostles, who carried the message of the gospel to the ends of the earth despite persecution. Each of these messengers understood the weight of their calling, and they carried it with honor and purpose. As a messenger of the covenant, you are not here by coincidence. Every experience you have had, every challenge you have faced, and every triumph you have celebrated has been preparing you for this moment. The fire within you is not accidental. It is the very presence of God urging you to step forward in faith. But carrying this message is not without its cost. It requires courage, endurance, and absolute trust in God's plan. It means standing firm when the world pushes back, proclaiming truth when others remain silent, and remaining steadfast in faith even when doubt tries to creep in. The question is, are you ready? Are you willing to step into your calling without fear or hesitation? The world is waiting for God's messengers to rise. The time is now. Embrace your purpose, carry the message with boldness, and let the fire of the covenant burn brightly within you. Before I continue, I want to pause and thank each and every one of you for your prayers, unwavering support, and incredible generosity. Most especially, I want to acknowledge those of you who have been giving through the link pinned in the comments below and through the Super Thankful feature. Your actions are a clear sign that you not only love God, but also deeply believe in and love the work we are doing here. You are not just supporters, you are partners, co-laborers in the kingdom of God. Your sacrifices and contributions are a testament to your faith and your heart for the mission God has entrusted us with. And I declare this over your life. God will reward you accordingly in ways beyond what you can imagine or think. Every prayer, every word of encouragement, every gift, and every time you share this message with someone in need is making an eternal impact. Together, we are spreading the good news, touching lives, and sowing seeds of hope, faith, and love. May God continue to bless you richly, enlarge your territory, and cause His face to shine upon you. May He meet you at the point of your need, fulfill the desires of your heart, and multiply every seed you have sown 100-fold. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for believing in this vision, for standing with us in this journey, and for being an active part of what God is doing through this platform. Let us continue to labor together for the glory of God, knowing that our work in the Lord is not in vain. You are loved. You are valued. You are appreciated. God bless you abundantly. A messenger is someone sent with a message from one party to another. But in God's kingdom, being a messenger is not just about delivering words. It is about being the message. Your life, actions, decisions, and character must align with the truth you proclaim. In ancient times, messengers were trusted servants. Kings did not send just anyone to carry their decrees. They chose individuals who were loyal, reliable, and capable of accurately representing their authority. The same is true with God. You are not chosen because you are perfect. You are chosen because He trusts you to carry His truth faithfully. Imagine a courier delivering a priceless artifact. Their job is not just to deliver the package but to protect it, ensuring it arrives intact. As a messenger of the covenant, you are carrying something far more precious than gold, the eternal promises of God. You must guard it with your life, ensuring it is not corrupted or diluted. The message you carry is not your own. It belongs to God. This is a critical truth because the authority of a messenger is rooted in the one who sends them. You are not speaking on your own behalf, but as an ambassador of the King of Kings. 2 Corinthians 5:20 declares, "We are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as though God were making His appeal through us." This means that every word you speak, every action you take, and every step of obedience you walk carries the weight of heaven behind it. Let this truth empower you to speak boldly, live righteously, and fulfill your divine mission with unwavering confidence. But being a messenger of the covenant comes with great responsibility. It requires more than words. It demands a life fully surrendered to God's will. You must be willing to live out the message you proclaim. The world is watching, measuring the authenticity of your message by the way you live. If your actions contradict your words, the message loses its power. But when your life aligns with your calling, you become a beacon of truth that draws others toward God. This responsibility also comes with challenges. Messengers throughout history have faced rejection, persecution, and even isolation. John the Baptist prepared the way for Christ with boldness, yet he was imprisoned and ultimately executed. The apostles preached the gospel at great personal cost, facing threats, imprisonment, and martyrdom. Even Jesus himself, the ultimate messenger, was rejected by many and crucified. Carrying God's message will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. To walk this path, you must develop resilience, perseverance, and unshakable faith. You must be prepared to speak truth even when it is unpopular, to stand firm even when the world pressures you to compromise, and to trust God even when you do not understand His plan. Your strength will come not from yourself, but from the Holy Spirit who empowers you to carry out your mission. So I ask you today, are you ready to accept the call? Are you willing to step fully into your role as a messenger of the covenant, carrying God's truth to a world that desperately needs it? The assignment is before you. The responsibility is great, but so is the reward. Those who remain faithful will hear these words from their Lord. "Well done, my good and faithful servant." The world is waiting. God is calling. Will you rise to the occasion? To be an effective messenger, you must embody certain qualities. Let us examine 3 critical traits through the lives of biblical messengers. Number 1. Boldness, like John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the voice crying in the wilderness, preparing the way for the Lord. He confronted sin without fear and proclaimed the coming of the Messiah with boldness. His courage was unwavering, and he did not compromise the truth, even when it led to his imprisonment and death. Boldness does not mean recklessness. It means standing firm in faith even when faced with resistance. As messengers of God, we are called to speak His truth boldly, without fear of rejection or persecution. We must not shy away from delivering God's word, even when it is difficult or unpopular. Number 2. Perseverance. Like Moses faced immense challenges as he delivered God's message to Pharaoh and led the Israelites out of Egypt. Despite constant opposition, he persevered. Moses' journey was not easy. He endured doubt, complaints from his own people, and Pharaoh's stubbornness. Yet, he remained faithful to God's call. This perseverance teaches us that being a messenger requires resilience. There will be obstacles, moments of discouragement and trials that test our faith. However, just as Moses continued forward with unwavering trust in God, we too must press on, knowing that the Lord is with us every step of the way. When you feel like giving up, remember Moses and how he relied on God's strength rather than his own. Number 3. Sacrificial love. Like Jesus, Jesus is the ultimate messenger of the covenant. He not only proclaimed the message but became the message through his sacrificial death and resurrection. His love for humanity was so profound that he willingly laid down his life for our salvation. This sacrificial love is what sets apart true messengers of God. To be effective, we must be willing to put others before ourselves, to love unconditionally, and to serve without expecting anything in return. Jesus' life was a perfect example of humility, compassion, and selflessness. As messengers, we are called to reflect his love in our words and actions, demonstrating God's grace and mercy to the world. Being a messenger is not just about speaking, it is about living the message. Every aspect of your life should align with God's truth. People should see Christ in the way you love, serve, and remain steadfast in faith. Your actions must reflect the message you proclaim, for a messenger whose life contradicts their words loses credibility. A true messenger is also one who continually seeks God's presence. Spend time in prayer, study the Word, and allow the Holy Spirit to guide you. Being a messenger is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong calling that requires daily surrender to God's will. The world is watching, and your faithfulness can inspire others to seek the truth. So, I ask you, are you ready to accept this call? Will you stand boldly like John the Baptist, persevere like Moses, and love sacrificially like Jesus? The world needs messengers who are not only willing to proclaim God's word, but to live it wholeheartedly. The time is now. Answer the call. Carry the message with boldness, perseverance, and love, knowing that you are chosen for this divine assignment. This is your moment. The world is desperate for truth, hope, and light. You are God's answer to that need. The fire of the covenant burns within you. The question is, will you let it consume you? This is not the time for hesitation. The world is waiting. God is calling. Will you rise as his messenger, ready to carry his covenant to the nations? Will you answer the call with unwavering faith, knowing that your obedience could change lives and impact generations? Many have been called before you, prophets, disciples, and saints who have walked this path with courage and conviction. They faced trials, opposition, and sacrifice, yet they pressed forward because they knew the weight of their calling. You are now among them, entrusted with a mission that carries eternal significance. Let your heart be steadfast. Let your soul be fearless. Stand firm in the truth and let the fire within you shine brightly for all to see. It will not be an easy journey, but God's strength will sustain you. He has already equipped you with everything you need: faith, wisdom, resilience, and his Holy Spirit to guide you. Your time is now. There is no room for doubt, no space for fear. Every great move of God begins with one willing heart. Will you be that heart today? Will you be the voice that speaks truth in a world clouded with confusion? Will you be the light that shines in the darkness? The choice is yours. The world needs you. Heaven is calling. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, I come before you with a heart open and willing to serve. Thank you for choosing me, for calling me to be a messenger of your truth, hope, and love. I acknowledge the weight of this calling, and I surrender myself completely to your divine will. Lord, ignite within me a holy fire, one that cannot be quenched. Give me boldness like John the Baptist, perseverance like Moses, and sacrificial love like Jesus. Strengthen me in moments of doubt, and let my faith remain unshaken in the face of trials. Fill me with your wisdom, so that every word I speak and every action I take reflects your glory. Let my life be a living testimony of your grace, a light that leads others to you. May I walk in unwavering obedience, trusting that you have equipped me for this mission. Use me, Lord, to bring truth to the lost, hope to the weary, and light to the darkness. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. If this message has blessed you, please subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more souls and spread the message of truth, hope, and salvation. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Also, share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Together we can change lives and expand God's kingdom. May God bless you abundantly for your faithfulness. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Let's continue to shine His light in the world. Amen. Listen carefully, for the words I'm about to share are not born of chance or coincidence. Your name has been chosen in heaven for a cause far beyond your understanding, a divine purpose woven into the eternal plan of the Almighty. What you are hearing now is not just for your ears but for your heart. It is a message of hope, a revelation of your calling, and a promise of the blessings prepared for you. Do not let doubt turn you away from this moment. Stay steadfast, for this truth has the power to transform your life. 12 angels came before me, each carrying your name, each pleading on your behalf with a love so deep and reverent. They see what you cannot yet see in yourself, a light, a spark, a divine potential that was placed within you before the foundation of the earth was laid. You are more than you believe yourself to be. You are chosen, beloved, a vessel to carry my love, my hope, and my glory to a world in need. If this message has touched your heart, don't let it stop here. Join this journey of hope and revelation by subscribe to this channel. Let these words inspire you daily, guiding you as you walk in faith and purpose. Together, let us illuminate the world with His love. I see you. I see the thoughts that swirl endlessly in your mind, weighed down by questions, fears, and uncertainties. You carry so much within you, dreams tangled with doubts, hopes shrouded by whispers of insecurity. There are nights when the silence is deafening and doubt creeps in like a shadow, whispering lies that gnaw at your spirit. Why me? You wonder. Why have I been chosen? What have I done to deserve this calling, this attention, this weight of purpose that feels both extraordinary and overwhelming? You search tirelessly for answers that seem just out of reach, hoping for clarity amidst the chaos of your heart. But hear me now, beloved. You are chosen, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are and who I have created you to be. Before you took your first breath, I knew you. I shaped you with care, planting seeds of purpose within you. Your strengths, your struggles, your story, they all matter. They are all a part of the masterpiece I am weaving. You are not defined by your achievements or failures, but by the love I have for you and the purpose I have placed upon your life. I see the burdens you carry, the silent battles no one else notices. The weight presses heavily upon you, doesn't it? Responsibilities stack higher and higher, and some days, it feels like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. I see the tears you cry when no one is watching, the prayers whispered in desperation, the moments when you feel like you're barely holding on. You've given so much, endured so much, and yet the heaviness lingers. But let this truth sink deep into your heart. You were never meant to carry these burdens alone. I am here. I have always been here. I am the one who strengthens you when you are weak, who walks beside you through the valleys, and who carries you when your strength is gone. Every trial you've faced, every tear you've shed, every moment of doubt, it has not been for nothing. Each hardship has been preparing you, refining you, and shaping you for the greater purpose I have planned. Even in the moments when you couldn't see it, I was working for your good, molding you into the person I designed you to be. So, my beloved, rest in this truth. You are not alone. You are chosen. You are loved beyond measure. I am with you now, just as I have always been, and I will carry you through every storm, every uncertainty, and every obstacle that lies ahead. Trust me, for the journey I have set before you is one of hope, promise and purpose. Step forward, not in fear, but in the confidence that you are held by the one who calls you his own. Your name rose to heaven, not by random chance, but with purpose. Because of the qualities I see in you, qualities that mirror my heart. You may not fully see them yourself, but I do. I see the kindness in your soul, the way you extend love even when it costs you something dear. I see how you choose forgiveness when bitterness feels easier, and how you give generously even when you have little to spare. I see your humility, a rare jewel in a world that often exalts pride and selfishness. You stay grounded, rooted in what is good and true, choosing to honor me even when the world turns away. Your willingness to love when your own heart aches, to comfort others even in your own pain, and to do what is right when no one is watching. These are not mere acts. They are treasures, precious offerings that ripple outward, touching lives in ways you cannot yet imagine. What you may see as small sacrifices, an encouraging word, a quiet prayer, a moment of compassion, have reached farther than you know. They have brought hope to the weary, light to the broken, and joy to those who felt forgotten. Heaven itself has taken notice. The angels spoke your name with reverence, for they see what I see. They see the purity of your heart, the quiet strength of your spirit, and the light you carry within you, a light that pierces through the darkness and warms even the coldest hearts. That light is not of your own making. It is my light, reflected through your life. Every act of love, every moment of obedience, and every step of faith shines brightly, pointing others to me. Your humility is what sets you apart. You do not seek applause, recognition, or the fleeting praise of others. You do what is good and right because it brings joy to my heart, not because it brings you glory. In a world consumed by self-promotion, your humility is a beacon of hope and a testimony to my work within you. This is why your name was lifted before me, why you have been chosen for this calling. But know this: you are not chosen because you are perfect. I do not seek perfection, for I know that none can achieve it apart from me. You are chosen because you are willing to trust, to follow and to obey, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. I do not ask for perfection. I ask for your heart, and through your willingness I will pour out blessings that will not only change your life, but will also touch the lives of countless others. My beloved, trust in this truth. Your life has meaning, your actions have purpose, and your name is precious to me. Through you, I will mend broken hearts, bring light to dark places, and restore hope where it has been lost. Walk forward in faith, knowing that my strength will sustain you, and my love will surround you. You were chosen not by accident, but with great care and intention. Let this truth guide you, for I am with you always. The cause for which you have been chosen is neither small nor insignificant. It is part of a divine plan, one that stretches far beyond what your eyes can see or your mind can comprehend. This plan intricately weaves together every moment of your life, your triumphs, your heartbreaks, your victories, and your struggles, into a tapestry of purpose so magnificent that it could only be the work of divine hands. Nothing you have experienced has been random or wasted. Each thread, carefully placed, contributes to something greater than you could ever imagine. Through you, my love will flow into the lives of those who feel unseen and forgotten. My hope will rise like a beacon in the hearts of the brokenhearted, and my glory will pierce the darkest places, bringing light and restoration. You are not just a participant in this plan. You are a vessel, uniquely crafted to carry out a sacred purpose. I have chosen you to be a conduit of my love, my hope, and my power. Do not let thoughts of inadequacy cloud your vision. The fears that whisper, "You are not enough," or "You cannot do this," are lies designed to paralyze you and keep you from stepping into your calling. Hear this truth. What you perceive as weaknesses, I see as the very places where my strength will shine brightest. It is in your moments of doubt and struggle that my power is perfected. My beloved, understand this. When I choose someone, I do not call them because they are already qualified. I qualify those I have chosen. Your flaws, your fears, and even your failures do not disqualify you from this purpose. On the contrary, they are vital pieces of your testimony, a living testament to what I can accomplish through a willing and surrendered heart. The trials you have faced, the lessons you have learned, and the growth you have experienced are all preparing you to fulfill this calling. Trust that I do not make mistakes. If I have called you, it is because I know you are capable, not in your own strength, but through mine. So walk boldly, my child. Do not shrink back in fear, for you do not walk this path alone. My strength will uphold you, my wisdom will guide you, and my love will sustain you. Through you, lives will be touched, wounds will be healed, and hope will be restored. My name will be glorified in ways beyond what you can envision. You have been chosen, not by accident, but by divine design. Trust in me, for I will equip you for every step of the journey. When you feel overwhelmed, lean into me. When doubts arise, remember that I am the source of your strength. You are my beloved, chosen for such a time as this. Step forward with courage, for the work I have begun in you, I will bring to completion. Beloved, your journey will not be without challenges. There will be moments when the weight of the calling feels too heavy to bear, when doubt whispers louder than faith, and when you question whether you are capable of fulfilling the purpose I have placed before you. In those moments, do not let fear or uncertainty overwhelm you. Instead, remember this unshakable truth. You are not alone. I am with you, guiding your steps, equipping you for every challenge, and providing for every need. Each act of faith, no matter how small, will uncover more of the plan I have designed specifically for you. With each step, doors will open that no one can shut. Paths will appear where none seem possible. Opportunities will arise that exceed your imagination. Relationships that were broken will be restored, and healing will flow into your life like a mighty river. The blessings I have prepared for you, blessings that the enemy sought to take away, are safely held in my hands and will be revealed at the perfect time. Through you, lives will be transformed. Your light, the one I have placed within you, will shine brightly, bringing hope to the hopeless, healing to the broken, and salvation to those in need. You will be my hands and feet, my voice and heart, carrying my love into a world desperate for it. This calling is not a burden, my beloved. It is a privilege. To be chosen and used by me is the greatest honor, for it means you are part of something eternal. You are part of my divine plan to bring light into darkness and life into despair. Walk forward in faith, for I am with you, and together, we will do great things. I know you wonder, what happens next? How will I know what to do? These questions swirl in your mind, and the uncertainty can feel overwhelming. But my beloved, you do not need to have all the answers right now. Trust me. Trust that I am leading you, step by step, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Each step of faith you take, no matter how small, will bring you closer to the fulfillment of the plan I have designed for you. When the way is clouded and the answers seem far away, rest in the knowledge that I am working behind the scenes. I am orchestrating every detail, aligning every moment, and weaving everything together for your good and for my glory. You may not see it now, but my hand is in every part of your journey. The enemy will try to fill your mind with lies. He will whisper that you are not enough, that you are too broken, too flawed, too insignificant. Do not believe those lies. They are meant to keep you from stepping into the greatness I have placed within you. Remember this: you are chosen not because of what you can do, but because of what I can do through you. My strength is sufficient for every weakness you feel. My grace is enough to cover every shortcoming. You are not called to rely on your own ability, but on mine. Lean into my strength, for it is in your moments of weakness that my power shines the brightest. Take the next step in faith, beloved, knowing that I am with you. Trust in my timing, trust in my plan, and trust that you are never walking this path alone. In this season, I am teaching you how to pray, not just with words, but with a heart aligned to my will. Prayer is not about presenting a list of requests, but about communion with me, about aligning your heart with mine. Let your prayers be filled with surrender, trust, and gratitude. Here is how you will pray. Father, I come before you with a heart that is open and humble. I surrender my plans, my fears, and my doubts to you. Teach me to trust your timing, to walk in obedience even when the path is unclear. Help me to see the beauty in the unknown, knowing that you are leading me. Lord, I do not ask for clarity, but for faithfulness. I do not seek success, but the strength to carry out your will. Refine me, mold me, and use me as a vessel of your love and grace. Let my life be a reflection of your goodness, a testament to your glory. Teach me to love as you love, to serve as you serve, and to trust as you trust. When I am weak, remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. When I feel lost, guide me with your light. When I am overwhelmed, be my refuge and fortress. I thank you, Lord, for choosing me, for equipping me, and for walking beside me. May my life bring you honor, and may every step I take lead me closer to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Beloved, a new season is upon you, a season of unveiling, where the purpose of your calling will become clear. The gifts I have placed within you, some long hidden and others yet to be discovered, will come to light as you walk in obedience. As you step forward in faith, you will see lives touched, hearts healed, and spirits renewed through the love and light you carry. Do not underestimate the power of what you have already been doing. The work of my kingdom is not about grand gestures, but about love. It is built in the quiet moments of compassion, in the unseen acts of kindness, in the words of truth spoken with tenderness. These small yet profound acts are the foundation of my plan, and you have been part of this work, even when you didn't realize it. Every choice to love, to forgive, and to serve has echoed into eternity. Do not fear the magnitude of your calling. It may feel overwhelming, but remember, you are never alone. I am with you, guiding your steps, empowering your actions, and surrounding you with my love. Trust in my plan, for it is designed to prosper you, to fill you with hope, and to lead you into a future rich with purpose. Beloved, you are mine, and I am yours forever. Your journey is only just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Walk boldly in faith, trust fully in my guidance, and let your heart rest in the certainty that you are deeply loved. The angels rejoice over you, for you are chosen, cherished, and called. Let this truth strengthen you as you step into the fullness of the season ahead. If this message has spoken to your heart, we invite you to subscribe to this channel. Join us as we continue to explore God's love and purpose together. Thank you for being here. We're honored to walk alongside you on this journey. What I'm about to share may surprise you, perhaps even shock you. But let me tell you this. If you are watching this video right now, it's not by accident. The universe, guided by divine orchestration, has brought you here for a reason. God is preparing something extraordinary for you. Your life is about to change forever, and soon you will experience a level of financial freedom and abundance that you've only dreamed of. Yes, you heard that right. Money will flow to you like water, effortlessly and abundantly. This isn't just about financial gain. It's about a total transformation, spiritual, emotional, and energetic. The very breakthroughs you've been praying for, waiting for, and perhaps even doubting at times are no longer distant possibilities. They are becoming your reality right now. Before we dive into this life-changing message, I want you to pause this video and take 3 simple steps. First, hit that like button. Second, subscribe to this channel to help us reach 30,000 subscribers. Third, leave a comment with the number 99. Why? Because this number symbolizes the completion of a divine cycle, and it sends a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this message. If you are truly one of the chosen ones, you'll watch this video until the very end, because deep down, your spirit already knows this message is meant for you. Those who are not ready to receive this truth might not make it to the end, but for those who do, your life will never be the same. Now, let's get into it. Imagine standing at the threshold of a great breakthrough. You've endured countless hardships, sacrificed more than most, and worked tirelessly to build a better future. And now, you are on the cusp of something extraordinary. Your struggles are about to transform into blessings, and your scarcity is about to be replaced by overflow. But this breakthrough isn't just about material wealth. No, it's much deeper than that. It's about an abundance of peace, joy, and opportunities that will leave you in awe. The universe has been aligning every detail of your life to ensure that you receive all that you've worked so hard for. Every setback, every delay, every closed door was preparing you for this moment. When this breakthrough comes, it will feel like a floodgate opening. Opportunities, blessings, and resources will pour into your life like a river that's finally found its course. But remember, the universe works in divine timing. The trials you've endured weren't there to punish you. They were there to prepare you. Without them, you wouldn't have the strength, wisdom, or resilience to handle what's coming. It's easy to reflect on your past and feel the weight of the pain you've endured. The sleepless nights that stretched endlessly, the heartbreaks that left you questioning your strength, and the moments when giving up seemed like the only option. At the time, those struggles may have felt overwhelming, even unbearable, and you might have wondered why life seemed so difficult. But here's a powerful truth. Every single one of those challenges was necessary. Each trial was a lesson, a stepping stone, preparing you for something far greater than you could imagine. Without them, you wouldn't be the person you are today. Think of a diamond. It begins as a simple piece of carbon, but under intense heat and pressure, it transforms into something brilliant, valuable, and indestructible. Without that pressure, it would remain just an ordinary lump of coal. Your journey mirrors this transformation. The struggles you faced didn't come to destroy you. They came to refine you, to shape you into someone strong, resilient, and capable of embracing the abundance and opportunities that are now on the horizon. Every tear you shed, every moment of doubt, and every setback was building something within you: wisdom, endurance, and a deeper understanding of life. The sleepless nights taught you resilience. The heartbreaks opened your heart to greater compassion and understanding. The moments of despair strengthened your resolve and forced you to dig deeper, to find a strength within yourself that you didn't even know existed. These experiences have prepared you, not just to survive, but to thrive. Now, as you stand at the edge of a new chapter, know that you are ready. The foundation has been laid. Those painful moments have been transformed into the strength and wisdom you need to step fully into your purpose. This is your time to reap the harvest of everything you've sown through your perseverance. The trials were not the end. They were the preparation. What lies ahead is a reward, far greater than the struggles you've endured. Your journey was never in vain, and now the fruits of your growth are about to unfold in ways that will take your breath away. You may not see it all right now, but trust this. There is a divine blueprint for your life. Every experience you've had, every person you've encountered, and every challenge you've faced has been part of a carefully orchestrated plan. Nothing you've been through is random or without purpose. The moments of joy, the seasons of struggle, and the quiet in-betweens all serve as pieces of a puzzle that is now beginning to take shape. Right now, you are entering a pivotal phase in your life where this divine plan will unfold in ways more beautiful and more extraordinary than you can imagine. The wealth that's coming your way is not just material. It's holistic, encompassing every facet of your being. This wealth is your divine birthright, a manifestation of the life of abundance you were always meant to live. It's more than money. It's the richness of meaningful relationships that uplift and inspire you. It's the gift of endless opportunities that align with your deepest passions. It's the quiet, unshakable peace that comes from living a life of purpose and fulfillment. This abundance doesn't just touch your finances. It enhances your spiritual growth, your emotional well-being, and your sense of connection to the world around you. When you align yourself with this divine plan, everything begins to fall into place. Your struggles and triumphs, your unique talents and dreams, they all converge into a singular path that leads you toward the life you were designed to live. Your gifts are not random. They were given to you for a reason. Your passions are not mere interests. They are clues guiding you toward your destiny. These are the tools you will use to manifest a life that reflects the true essence of who you are and what you are capable of achieving. The beauty of this alignment is that it feels effortless. Instead of forcing things to happen, you'll find doors opening where you once saw walls. Opportunities will appear that perfectly match your skills and desires. Relationships will blossom that nurture your spirit and propel you forward. When you trust in the divine plan and embrace the abundance waiting for you, you step into the life you've always been destined to live. A life where every aspect of your being thrives. I know it's hard to trust when life has thrown so many challenges your way. When you've spent years struggling, fighting battles no one else sees, and enduring a reality of scarcity, trusting in abundance can feel almost impossible. It's easy to wonder if things will ever change, to feel that the universe has forgotten you. But let me tell you something powerful. Even when it doesn't seem like it, the universe is always working behind the scenes, aligning every detail of your life to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Financial abundance is not a question of if, but when. Every setback, every rejection, every delay you've experienced was not a punishment. It was preparation. Think of the detours you've taken not as obstacles, but as alternate routes carefully designed to lead you to something even greater. The universe knows your needs, your desires, and your dreams intimately. It knows the exact timing required for you to receive those blessings fully and sustainably. Sometimes the delays are there to build your strength, to help you grow, or to ensure that you're ready to handle the incredible abundance waiting for you. Your role in this divine process is simple yet profound. Trust, have patience, and remain open. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even when you can't see the full picture. Patience doesn't mean passivity. It means staying grounded in the belief that what's meant for you will find its way to you. And openness means letting go of doubts and fears so you can receive the blessings that are already making their way into your life. One day soon, you'll look back and realize that every challenge was a lesson in disguise. Every delay was a blessing wrapped in patience. You'll see how the seemingly disconnected pieces of your journey fit together perfectly, forming a picture more beautiful than you could have imagined. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Trust in the process, trust in the timing, and trust in the abundance that's destined to flow into your life. You are closer to your breakthrough than you think, so hold on and stay ready for the blessings to come. Patience is one of the most powerful tools you have on your journey to success. It's not just about waiting, it's about trusting that everything is unfolding in perfect alignment with divine timing. Even when you can't see progress on the surface, know that the seeds of your dreams are taking root and growing beneath the soil. Think of a seed. It doesn't sprout the moment it's planted. It takes time, care, sunlight, water, and the right conditions to grow into a strong and beautiful plant. The process can't be rushed, and neither can your journey to abundance. Your prosperity works the same way. The dreams and goals you've nurtured are growing, maturing, and evolving, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Every moment of waiting isn't wasted. It's a vital part of the process. It's in these moments that you are being prepared, strengthened, and refined for the incredible blessings that are coming your way. When the time is right, your efforts will bear fruit in ways that exceed your expectations, blossoming into a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Patience requires faith. It asks you to trust that everything is happening as it should, even when progress feels slow or non-existent. It's about staying grounded and refusing to let doubt or fear take root in your heart. Each passing day, even in the waiting, is moving you closer to the abundance you've dreamed of. Keep nurturing your goals, stay resilient in your faith, and trust in the process. Remember, the best is yet to come, and the life you're building will be worth every moment of patience and perseverance. Imagine a life where money flows to you effortlessly, like water running through a clear, endless stream. Gone are the days of worry about bills, debts, or financial limitations. Instead, you live in a state of ease, knowing that financial freedom is not just possible, it's your reality. This isn't some far-off dream, it's the new chapter you're stepping into, a chapter where abundance and prosperity are your everyday companions. Financial freedom doesn't mean reckless spending or indulgence without purpose. It means living with peace of mind, unburdened by the constant stress of making ends meet. It's about having the resources to enjoy life fully while staying grounded in gratitude and wisdom. Picture yourself walking through life with confidence, knowing that you have the means to meet your needs and fulfill your desires, whether it's traveling the world, experiencing cultures you've always dreamed of, or giving generously to causes close to your heart. Financial freedom empowers you to live boldly and joyfully. Now, imagine the home you've always envisioned, a place of comfort, beauty, and safety that reflects the life you've worked so hard to create. Visualize waking up every morning without the weight of financial stress, free to focus on what truly matters, your passions, your loved ones, and your purpose. This isn't a fantasy. This is the reality waiting for you. It's a life where money is no longer a source of fear, but a tool for creating joy, sharing abundance, and building a legacy. This is the freedom you've been destined to experience, and it's closer than you think. The stream of abundance is flowing. Step into it with confidence. To fully embrace the wealth that is already destined for you, it's crucial to align yourself with it on every level: mind, heart, and soul. This means letting go of limiting beliefs that have held you back. Beliefs like, money is hard to come by, or success isn't meant for me. These thoughts are barriers to abundance, blocking the flow of prosperity that is trying to reach you. Instead, replace them with empowering affirmations such as, money flows to me effortlessly, I attract wealth with ease, and I am worthy of unlimited success. By shifting your mindset, you create a fertile ground for abundance to take root and grow. Visualization is another powerful tool for alignment. Take a moment to picture the life you desire. See it vividly in your mind, the home of your dreams, filled with warmth and beauty. Imagine yourself driving the car you've always wanted, feeling the freedom of the open road. Picture yourself traveling to breathtaking destinations, immersing yourself in new cultures and experiences. Envision the joy of giving back, contributing to causes that touch your heart, and knowing you're making a difference in the world. The clearer and more detailed your vision, the stronger its pull becomes, aligning your energy with the reality you wish to create. Alignment is about more than thoughts. It's about embodying the energy of abundance in your actions and attitudes. Act as though you're already living the life you envision. Practice gratitude for what you have and what's on its way. When your mindset, energy, and actions are in harmony, abundance begins to manifest faster than you could imagine. Trust in the process. Let go of doubts and watch as the wealth you've always dreamed of flows naturally into your life. You are not here by accident. You are here for a reason, chosen and guided by a divine purpose that is leading you toward unstoppable success. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt has been part of your preparation for this moment. The road has not been easy, but it has been worth it. Each step you've taken, no matter how small, has been building the foundation for the life of abundance that is now within your reach. Now is your time to shine. The abundance you've been waiting for is no longer a distant dream. It's rushing toward you. Trust in divine timing, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The universe has been working tirelessly behind the scenes, aligning every piece of your journey so that your blessings arrive exactly when you are ready to receive them. Align yourself with this flow, open your heart to the possibilities, and embrace the wealth, joy, and opportunities that are already yours. Chosen ones, the future is bright. What lies ahead is more extraordinary than anything you've imagined. Your life is about to transform in ways that will leave you in awe. Believe it. receive it, and step boldly into the reality you were born to live. Thank you for allowing this message to speak into your heart. If it has inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Help us spread this light by hitting the like button and sharing this video with someone who needs encouragement. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and join this community of chosen ones as we step into a new era of purpose, abundance, and unstoppable success. Your best days are not behind you. They are ahead of you. Your life will never be the same again. As we step into this new season, a time overflowing with promise and transformation, something extraordinary is unfolding. It's more than just a story. It's a revelation so profound that it could completely redefine everything you thought you knew about your purpose and destiny. This is a moment designed by God Himself, a divine appointment that you were meant to keep. If you're here, it's not by coincidence. You were drawn to this message because the time has come for you to uncover what has been hidden for so long. The timing is perfect, and so are you for this moment. Take a deep breath and reflect on this divine alignment. Before we move forward, I invite you to take an intentional step of faith. Comment 77 below as a declaration of your readiness to receive this life-changing truth. This number represents spiritual awakening and divine revelation. By engaging, you're signaling to God and yourself that you're prepared for the transformation ahead. To those who have supported this mission through super thanks, your generosity fuels this journey of faith and revelation. From the depths of my heart, I thank you. Your belief in this vision allows us to continue sharing these messages of hope, empowerment, and restoration with the world. Your support is a testament to the incredible power of community and shared purpose. Now let me ask you this. What if the key to your divine inheritance has been hidden from you all along? What if it was concealed beneath layers of secrecy and deceit? Today, something incredible has been uncovered, a revelation connected to your very name. A truth so powerful that it holds the potential to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Who kept this hidden from you? And why is it being revealed now, at this very moment? Stay with me, because what we are about to uncover is not just a story, it's your story. The banking authorities have stumbled upon something astonishing, a hidden account tied directly to your name. But this isn't just about material wealth. This discovery is far more significant. It is a divine emblem of justice, restoration, and balance. For so long, you may have felt as though your dreams were always just beyond reach, slipping through your fingers like grains of sand. Yet now, this revelation is God's declaration that you were never forsaken. What heaven has ordained for you can never be stolen, no matter how deeply it was hidden. Have you ever felt an unshakable pull towards something greater? A quiet but persistent sense that you were destined for more? Those feelings weren't mere daydreams. They were whispers from God, gentle reminders of the calling He placed upon your life. Reflect on Psalm 37, verse 4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Those desires were not misplaced. They were carefully planted by God as promises of the blessings to come. The discovery of these funds is not random. It's tangible evidence of the blessings you've been manifesting through faith, even in the most difficult times. Like Joseph in Genesis 41, who rose to power after enduring years of hardship, you too are stepping into a season where your patience and unwavering faith will be richly rewarded. Do you believe this is your moment to reclaim what was always meant for you? No longer should you remain silent or linger in doubt. Speak this aloud right now. I reclaim my blessings. Align yourself with the abundance that has been waiting for you. Remember, faith without works is dead. As you take this step of faith, you are unlocking truths that have been hidden for far too long. For too long, life may have felt overwhelmingly unfair. You've watched others move forward, achieving dreams and reaching milestones, while you remained stuck. Despite the sacrifices you've made and the relentless effort you've poured into your journey, You've smiled in public, but behind closed doors you cried in silence. You've endured sleepless nights, your heart heavy with worry, and whispered prayers that seem to echo into nothingness. But hear this truth today. God has seen every moment. Not a single tear has gone unnoticed. Not one prayer has been ignored. Every act of kindness you extended, every time you chose integrity over convenience, every moment you continued to press forward despite the odds, God was watching. He has been working behind the scenes, quietly aligning circumstances in your favor. Galatians 6:9 offers this powerful encouragement. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. This is that proper time. This is your season of harvest. The waiting, the struggles, the heartbreak, it was not in vain. You are now stepping into a divine season of restoration, where everything that was delayed, denied, or hidden will be returned to you in abundance. There were people who schemed against you, driven by envy and greed. They believed they could bury your blessings, that they could silence your voice and obstruct your path. They may have whispered behind your back, manipulated situations, and rejoiced when you stumbled. But their plans are crumbling because they were never stronger than God's promise over your life. Isaiah 54:17 boldly declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn." This is God's unshakable promise. The weapons may have been formed, but they were powerless against the hand of God on your life. Every word spoken against you, every attempt to sabotage your destiny, is now being silenced by God's justice. Luke 12:2 reminds us of this truth. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. Those who worked in the shadows to suppress your blessings are now powerless. Their secrets are exposed, and the truth is rising to the surface. What was hidden is now being brought into the light, because God is a God of justice, restoration, and truth. Can you feel the power of this truth in your spirit? God has not forgotten you. The pain, the delays, and the struggles were preparing you for a blessing so great that it required you to be refined, strengthened, and ready. What others tried to withhold from you is now being released in God's perfect timing. This is your moment of restoration. Walk boldly in this season. Stand firm in faith, knowing that what God has ordained for you, no one can take away. Your harvest is here. Your blessings are unfolding, and your story is far from over. Step into it with confidence. This is your time. Betrayal is a wound that cuts deeper than most because it often comes from those we hold closest to our hearts. A trusted friend, a family member, or a confidant, someone you believed would protect you, may have been the very person who worked to keep your blessings hidden. This kind of pain is unlike any other because it strikes at the core of trust and love. King David, a man after God's own heart, knew this pain all too well. In Psalm 55:12-14, he laments, "If an enemy were insulting me, I could endure it. If a foe were rising against me, I could hide. But it is you, a man like myself, my companion, my close friend, with whom I once enjoyed sweet fellowship at the house of God, as we walked about among the worshipers." This scripture captures the sting of realizing that betrayal didn't come from a distant enemy, but from someone within his inner circle. David's words echo the heartbreak that many of us have felt, the disbelief that someone so close could inflict such deep pain. Yet, even when betrayal feels overwhelming, God sees every hidden act. Proverbs 15:3 reminds us, "The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good." Nothing escapes God's notice. Every deceitful act, every false word spoken behind closed doors, every scheme against you has been seen by the one who holds justice in his hands. Even in the quiet moments when you felt isolated in your pain, you were never truly alone. God has been watching, comforting, and preparing you for what's next. Look at the story of Joseph in Genesis. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and falsely imprisoned, Joseph had every reason to give up. But God was silently orchestrating every step. The betrayal that was meant to destroy him became the very path that led him to power, where he saved countless lives during famine. Joseph's powerful words to his brothers in Genesis 50:20 reveal a profound truth. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This is God's pattern, turning pain into purpose, betrayal into blessing. Declare this over your life today. I rise above betrayal. This is more than just words. It's a powerful affirmation that betrayal will not define you. The pain you've endured is not the end of your story. It is the foundation upon which God is building something greater. Like Joseph, God is using what was meant to harm you to prepare you for a future of purpose, leadership, and influence. No betrayal, no scheme, and no hidden agenda can stop God's plan for your life. This moment is not a coincidence. It is your divine appointment, a sacred point in time that God has orchestrated specifically for you. What has been revealed to you now is far more than just financial provision or material gain. This hidden blessing is tangible proof of God's unwavering promise and His divine plan for your life. It is a confirmation that every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've shed, and every hardship you've endured has not gone unnoticed. Romans 8:28 reminds us of this profound truth. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every setback, every betrayal, and every moment of waiting has been woven into God's greater plan. A plan to prosper you and not to harm you. A plan to give you hope and a future. You are not here by accident. You have been prepared for this very moment. Consider David, a humble shepherd boy who spent years tending sheep, seemingly far from the path of greatness. Yet God was preparing him in those quiet, hidden places for a destiny beyond what anyone could have imagined. David's time in the fields, protecting his flock, developed the courage and faith he needed to defeat Goliath and later rule as king. Think of Esther, an orphaned Jewish girl who became queen. She was placed in a position of power not by chance but by divine design. When her people faced annihilation, Esther was reminded of her purpose in Esther 4:14. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Just like David and Esther, you have been prepared for this season. Everything you faced was not to break you, but to strengthen and refine you for the responsibility that comes with this blessing. Yet, this blessing carries weight. It demands responsibility, discernment, and wisdom. Not everyone around you will celebrate your victory. Some may not understand the depth of your calling, and others might even envy the favor upon your life. That is why it's crucial to guard your heart and protect this blessing. Proverbs 4:23 instructs us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. You must be discerning about who you share your victories with. Some battles are best fought in silence, trusting God to reveal the truth in His perfect timing. Not every detail of your breakthrough needs to be broadcasted. There is power in quiet obedience and humble stewardship. This is your divine moment, entrusted to you by God. Handle it with care, nurture it with gratitude, and walk boldly in the purpose He has set before you, knowing that what God has ordained for you, no one can take away. Step forward with confidence. This is your time. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a powerful new chapter. The wealth uncovered is not simply financial. It is a symbol of God's divine justice, His restoration, and His unwavering promise to you. Hebrews 11:1 encourages us. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Speak this boldly. I unlock my future. I trust God's plan. This blessing is not random. It's a divine appointment, placed in your hands because God knows you are ready. Now the question remains, what will you do with this opportunity? Will you rise to the occasion, step into your destiny, and use this blessing to fulfill the divine purpose set before you? The choice is yours, and the time is now. Before you go, if this message has spoken to your spirit, I invite you to support this mission through Super Thanks. Your generosity allows us to continue sharing powerful messages of hope, faith, and empowerment with those who need it most. Every contribution, big or small, helps us reach more hearts and souls, spreading God's word and inspiring transformation around the world. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of this journey. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a message that could change your life. Join this growing community of believers walking in faith and purpose. Like, comment, and share this message to bless someone else today. May God's favor and peace be upon you. You are blessed, chosen, and unstoppable. Thank you for being here. Stay encouraged and stay faithful. If you're watching this right now, it's no accident. God has led you here for a reason. Deep in your heart, you may feel that something in your life is off balance, that despite your prayers, hopes, and waiting, the breakthrough hasn't come. But today, God is speaking directly to you. He sees what you're going through. He knows your struggles, your silent battles, and the burdens you've carried for far too long. This is more than just about your actions. It's about your mindset, your energy, and the choices you make each day. Something you're holding on to is blocking the blessings God has prepared for you. Are you ready to listen? Before we dive deeper, pause for a moment. Let this message settle in your spirit. If you feel led, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and comment 99 below. This isn't for me. It's a powerful step in declaring that you're ready to receive the transformation God has for you. If you're truly a chosen one, your spirit knows this message is for you. Stay with me until the end, and I promise, your life will never be the same. Let's dive into what God is saying to you today. Do you feel it? That quiet, persistent whisper deep in your soul? That's not your imagination, it's your divine calling. It's been nudging you, sometimes softly, other times urgently, pushing you towards something greater. But here's the truth. Many of us ignore this calling. We become lost in the noise of everyday life, distracted by temporary pleasures, comfort zones, and the expectations of others. But make no mistake, God has placed a specific purpose in your heart, a mission that only you can fulfill. Every time you turn away from this calling, you rob yourself of the life of fulfillment, joy, and peace that God designed for you. Worse yet, you withhold the unique light within you that is meant to shine brightly in the world. It's time to stop running. Every moment you delay is a moment lost, a missed opportunity to align with your higher self and walk the path God has laid out for you. The universe is ready for you to awaken, but first, you must stop resisting the flow God has already set in motion. God knows you're ready. He's been shaping you, refining you, preparing you for this very moment. The choice is now yours. Will you continue turning away, or will you step boldly into your destiny? God sees the immense power within you. The energy you hold isn't just for survival. It's a divine force capable of building or destroying, depending on how you choose to channel it. Yet far too often, this divine energy is wasted. We pour it into fleeting pleasures, mindless distractions, and temptations that seem satisfying for a moment, but leave us spiritually drained and empty. We chase after temporary comforts, thinking they will ease the deeper longing in our souls. But these are illusions, empty promises that divert us from our true purpose. But listen closely to what God is speaking over your life today. This energy is not meant to be squandered. It's meant to fuel your spiritual growth, to power your divine mission, and to strengthen your bond with God. Redirecting your energy isn't about suppressing your desires or denying yourself joy. It's about mastering this sacred force, understanding its true purpose, and using it to build a life that honors God and aligns with His will. Every moment you spend practicing self-discipline, every prayer you lift up, every act of service you offer to others, it all matters. These are not small sacrifices. They are powerful investments in your divine future. God sees every effort you make, even the ones no one else notices. He honors your commitment, your struggles, and your dedication to walk the sacred path He designed for you. When you choose to redirect your energy, something extraordinary happens. You break free from living at the mercy of your impulses. You begin to live with intentionality, clarity, and divine focus. The distractions that once controlled you lose their grip, and you step into a place of strength and purpose. Understand this. God's plan for your life is far greater than any temptation or distraction you face. His purpose for you is deeper, richer, and more fulfilling than anything this world can offer. Trust in His process. Trust in His perfect timing. And as you surrender to His will and master the energy within you, watch how your life begins to transform in ways you could never have imagined. Chosen one. Your sexual energy is one of the most sacred and powerful gifts God has entrusted to you. It is not a burden or something to be ashamed of. It is a divine force designed to fuel creation, inspire greatness, and ignite your spiritual awakening. This energy is deeply connected to your very essence, woven into the fabric of who you are. God placed it within you as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual, the seen and the unseen. It is meant to empower you, to drive you toward fulfilling your divine purpose. But in a world consumed by instant gratification and fleeting pleasures, this sacred energy is often misunderstood and misused. Too often it is drained by meaningless pursuits, unhealthy relationships, and temporary desires that leave the soul feeling empty and disconnected. When misdirected, this powerful energy scatters your focus, clouds your mind, and weakens your spirit. It distracts you from the higher calling God has placed on your life, pulling you further away from your true path. Yet, when honored and redirected, this same energy can unlock unimaginable potential within you. It becomes a wellspring of creativity, fueling ideas, dreams, and actions that align with your divine mission. It deepens your spiritual connection with God, sharpening your clarity and strengthening your purpose. This is not about suppressing or denying your natural desires. It's about mastering them, guiding them with wisdom and intention towards something far greater than momentary satisfaction. God is calling you to rise above the noise of the world and protect this sacred force within you. He is inviting you to channel your energy into spiritual growth, divine creativity, and meaningful action. Every moment of self-discipline, every choice to honor this gift, brings you closer to the life God has destined for you. Do not squander this divine energy on things that do not serve your soul. Embrace it, honor it, transform it. Allow it to become the fuel that drives you toward your higher calling. When you align this energy with God's purpose for your life, you will experience a transformation so profound that your spirit will awaken to new levels of peace, clarity, and divine power. In a world that glorifies instant gratification and confuses self-indulgence with freedom, the path of celibacy is often misunderstood and dismissed. Society portrays it as a denial of pleasure, a restriction on personal freedom, or an outdated practice with no relevance in modern life. But for the chosen ones, those called to a higher purpose, celibacy is far from a limitation. It is a sacred strategy for spiritual elevation, empowerment, and divine alignment. Choosing celibacy is not about rejecting your humanity or suppressing your God-given desires. It is about mastering them. It is a conscious and courageous decision to redirect your most powerful energy, the creative, life-giving force within you, toward fulfilling your divine mission. This is a path of intentional living, where every action, every thought, and every moment is aligned with spiritual growth and deeper communion with God. By choosing celibacy, you are creating space for God to move mightily in your life. You are making room for clarity, wisdom, creativity, and divine guidance. The distractions that once clouded your mind begin to fade, and in their place, God plants visions, purpose, and unshakable peace. This practice refines your spirit, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your soul in ways that indulgence never could. God deeply honors those who walk this sacred path. Every act of self-control, every moment of resisting temptation, is not a loss, it is a victory. It is a bold declaration that you are ready to rise to the next level of your calling. Mastery over your desires doesn't weaken you, it empowers you. It becomes the foundation for divine creativity, unbreakable faith, and a profound sense of peace that the world cannot offer. Understand this. Discipline is not punishment. It is divine preparation. God is shaping you into the person who can handle the weight of the blessings and the mission He has prepared for you. When you choose celibacy, you are not sacrificing joy. You are gaining spiritual strength, clarity, and alignment with your true purpose. You are stepping into a life of deeper fulfillment, divine power, and unshakable peace. This is your moment to embrace discipline, to rise above worldly distractions, and to walk boldly on the sacred path God has prepared for you. You are not losing anything. You are gaining everything. Too often we find ourselves caught in the endless pursuit of approval from others. We chase recognition, praise, and validation, hoping it will fill the emptiness within us. We measure our worth by the opinions of friends, family, social media, and even strangers, thinking their approval will finally make us feel whole. But this search is exhausting and unfulfilling because no human approval can satisfy the deep longing in our souls. The truth is, God's approval is the only validation you will ever need. When you rely on external validation, you unknowingly hand over your power. You allow others to define your worth, your identity, and even your purpose. Their opinions become a mirror in which you try to find yourself, but that mirror is often cracked and distorted. You begin to shrink, to conform, to hide parts of yourself just to be accepted. But chosen one, hear this. God has already called you worthy. His love for you is not based on your performance, your popularity, or your achievements. His approval is unconditional, unwavering, and eternal. God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. He crafted you with intention and designed you for a divine purpose that no one else can fulfill. You don't need to earn His love. You don't need to prove your worth. In God's eyes, you are already enough. Every gift, every talent, and even every flaw has been woven together to serve His greater plan for your life. It's time to stop seeking validation from the world and start living in alignment with God's purpose for you. Stop letting the opinions of others dictate your path. Stop shrinking to fit into spaces God never intended for you. You don't need anyone else's approval to step into your greatness. You are already chosen, already equipped, and already loved. Walk boldly in the truth of who God created you to be. Let His voice be louder than the noise of the world. The moment you stop chasing validation and start embracing God's purpose, you will experience a freedom and peace that no human approval could ever offer. Here's a powerful spiritual truth that many overlook. God has gifted you with the divine ability to transmute energy. This means you have the power to take any form of energy, whether it's sexual desire, anger, fear, frustration, anxiety, or even deep pain, and transform it into a force for good. This isn't just a lofty idea. It is a spiritual reality, and one of the greatest tools God has placed within you. This ability is your spiritual superpower, designed to lift you beyond your struggles and align you with your divine purpose. Imagine this. What if the very struggles that once held you back could become the very fuel that propels you forward? What if your pain could be turned into purpose, your fear into unwavering faith, and your distractions into laser-sharp divine focus? That is the power of energy transmutation. Every negative emotion, every setback, and every temptation can be redirected and transformed into something powerful, creative, and life-changing. Transmutation is not about denying your feelings or suppressing your struggles. It's about rising above lower energies and consciously channeling them into creativity, service, love, and spiritual growth. It's about taking the raw, untamed energy within you and refining it into a divine force that brings glory to God and fulfillment to your soul. God has already equipped you with everything you need to master this divine skill. He has placed within you the strength, resilience, and wisdom to take what was meant to harm you and turn it into momentum toward your higher calling. This is how you break free from the cycles of stagnation, temptation, and fear. This is how you rise above the limitations of the flesh and walk fully in the spirit. Chosen one. When you learn to transmute energy, you unlock a level of spiritual power that makes you unstoppable. You begin to live with purpose, clarity, and passion, fully aligned with God's will for your life. The pain, the struggles, the desires, they all become tools in your hands, shaping you into the person God destined you to be. Embrace this divine power within you. Let it transform your life and guide you into the fullness of your calling. You are not a victim of your emotions or circumstances. You are a vessel of divine strength, created to rise and become a powerful force for good in this world. Chosen one, this is your moment. God has been preparing you for this very season. Every obstacle, every delay, every unanswered prayer has been part of His divine process. But now the time for waiting is over. It's time to stop running from your calling. Stop wasting your precious energy on things that drain your spirit. Stop seeking validation from the world. Redirect your energy. Embrace divine discipline. Transform your pain into purpose. God has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your destiny. The doors are ready to open, but you must take the first step. Don't let fear hold you back any longer. Don't let distractions steal your focus. Don't let doubt silence your purpose. Step boldly into the life God has prepared for you. Trust His plan. Surrender your fears. Walk in faith. Because once you do, your life will never be the same. Chosen one. The world is waiting for the light only you can bring. God knows what you're capable of. Now it's time for you to believe it too. There are moments in life that are more than mere coincidences. If you're here, reading these words, it is not by accident. You have been led to this very moment for a reason far greater than you can comprehend. God's hand has guided you here because something extraordinary is about to unfold in your life. This is not just another message. It is a divine calling. A life-changing meeting with God is drawing near, and your soul has been prepared for this moment. This is not a fleeting thought or a distant hope. This is your time for transformation, alignment, and awakening to your divine purpose. You are a chosen one, and God is preparing you for a sacred encounter that will shift the very foundation of your life. You will soon witness changes that will leave you in awe. But to fully embrace this divine meeting, you must first understand how to align yourself with the powerful spiritual energy flowing into your life. Before we dive deeper into this transformative message, take a moment to pause and do 3 important things. Like this message to affirm your readiness, subscribe to join this growing community of awakened souls, and comment the number 99 below to activate the divine energy surrounding you. This small act symbolizes your openness to receive and amplifies the spiritual power moving through this moment. If you feel that undeniable pull in your spirit, trust it. This message is meant for you. Watch until the end, because your soul recognizes this truth. You were destined to hear this today. If you're ready to step into the life God has prepared for you, brace yourself, because everything is about to change. In the stillness of your heart, have you ever felt a quiet, persistent pull, as if something monumental is about to unfold? This is not your imagination. It is the divine whisper calling you towards something greater. That tug in your spirit is God aligning your steps for a profound encounter. You may not know the details yet, but deep inside you sense it. This isn't an ordinary event. It's not something you can prepare for with worldly actions. This is a spiritual awakening, a shift in your very soul. God has meticulously crafted this moment, and it is perfectly timed. Every experience you've had, every joy, every heartache, has led you here. The path ahead may not look like you expected, but trust this: you are ready. This isn't about physical change. It's about spiritual elevation. You are being called to rise higher, to embrace your divine purpose with boldness. The ordinary life you once knew is fading because you were never meant to live in mediocrity. You were chosen for greatness, and now is the time to answer that call. Look back on your life for a moment. Reflect on every high and low, every success and setback, every moment of joy and every season of pain. None of it was by chance. Every challenge you faced, every obstacle you overcame, and even every unexpected detour was part of God's intricate and intentional design. You may not have understood it in the moment, but each experience was divinely orchestrated to shape you, mold you, and prepare you for the sacred encounter that is now drawing near. Nothing in your life has been random. The trials you've endured were never meant to break you. They were refining you. Each hardship built resilience within you, strengthening your spirit and deepening your faith. The moments of doubt were opportunities to lean into God's promises, to trust Him even when the path was unclear. And those who walked away from your life did so because God is making room for new connections, divine alignments, and blessings beyond what you can imagine. Every loss was a setup for greater gain. Every closed door was a redirection, not a rejection. Understand this: you are exactly where you are meant to be. Every step, every tear, every victory has led you here, right into the center of God's perfect will. And now, He is about to reveal the reason behind it all. Being chosen is not a title. It's a sacred responsibility and a profound blessing. God has seen something extraordinary in you. He has placed within you a unique gift, a powerful calling that only you can fulfill. It won't always be an easy road, but what lies ahead is far greater, far more beautiful, and far more purposeful than anything you've had to leave behind. Trust in His plan, for it is unfolding perfectly, and you are ready to walk boldly into your divine destiny. The divine encounter you are about to experience is not about moving to a different place or changing your physical surroundings. It is far more profound than that. This is a spiritual awakening, a deep and powerful alignment of your soul with God's perfect plan for your life. It is an invitation to rise into a higher version of yourself, one that fully understands, accepts, and walks boldly in the divine power and authority placed within you. This awakening will unlock gifts, strengths, and a purpose that have been quietly growing inside you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. That moment is now. But this transformation will not happen without change. It requires you to release the old, to let go of limiting beliefs, unhealthy patterns, and relationships that no longer align with the person God is calling you to become. This is not a loss, but a divine preparation. You are being pruned, refined, and purified to make space for something far greater than anything you've held onto in the past. What you are releasing cannot go with you into this next season because it was never meant to sustain you at the level God is taking you to. It's natural to feel uneasy, uncertain, or even afraid during this transition. But understand this: that discomfort is not punishment. It is your soul stretching, expanding, and preparing for the incredible new chapter ahead. Just as a seed must break open to grow, you are breaking free from what once confined you. Trust this process. Embrace the refining. God is preparing you for a life that is far beyond the ordinary, a life filled with divine purpose, power, and fulfillment. What's coming is greater than anything you can imagine, and every step of this transformation is leading you closer to it. How do you know this moment is near? God leaves signs for His chosen ones, and they are all around you if you pay attention. One of the first signs that this divine moment is approaching is a profound sense of inner restlessness. This is not the kind of anxiety that stems from fear or worry, but rather a deep, unshakable feeling that something significant is about to happen. It's as if your spirit knows that change is near, and your soul is beginning to awaken to new possibilities. You may find yourself feeling dissatisfied with routines or longing for something more, something greater. This is divine anticipation. God is stirring your heart, making you aware that you are on the brink of a major shift. It's His way of moving you out of comfort and into readiness. As this divine moment approaches, you will notice your intuition becoming sharper and more attuned to God's voice. What once felt like random thoughts will now feel like clear guidance. You may receive sudden insights, feel strong nudges in your spirit, or experience an inner knowing that leads you toward specific actions. God speaks in whispers, through scripture, through people, and through the quiet voice in your heart. When His guidance becomes clearer and more consistent, it's a sign that He is actively leading you toward your next divine assignment. Pay close attention to these spiritual nudges. They are intentional and meant to guide you forward. Another sign that your divine moment is near is the sudden shifting of relationships and opportunities in your life. People who no longer align with your purpose may begin to drift away. This can feel painful, but it is necessary. God is removing relationships, habits, and environments that cannot support the next level of your journey. At the same time, new people and opportunities will begin to appear, often unexpectedly. These new connections are not random. They are divinely placed to support and elevate you as you step into your calling. Recognize these shifts as part of God's greater plan, clearing space for what is meant to flourish in your life. What once brought you comfort and joy may now feel empty or unfulfilling. You might find yourself losing interest in old habits, passions, or even career paths. This sense of detachment is not accidental. It is God's invitation for you to release what no longer serves your highest purpose. He is gently pushing you to let go of the familiar, to make room for the extraordinary. This process of letting go might be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. You cannot carry old mindsets, relationships, or burdens into the new season God is preparing for you. None of these signs are coincidences. They are God's way of communicating with you, preparing your heart, mind, and spirit for what is to come. Every restless feeling, every shift in relationships, every divine nudge is part of His perfect plan to bring you closer to the sacred meeting that will transform your life. One of the greatest and most challenging steps in stepping into your divine purpose is learning to let go. Letting go of the familiar, the comfortable, and the safe can feel overwhelming, yet it is a necessary part of your spiritual growth. This process is not meant to harm or punish you. It is God's way of elevating you. He is calling you to release the things that have kept you small, confined, and limited, so that you can step fully into the vastness and greatness of your divine calling. Letting go may involve walking away from relationships that no longer align with your purpose, releasing habits that hinder your growth, or even leaving behind careers or environments that once defined you. These things may have served you in the past, but they cannot sustain you where God is leading you. It can be painful to release what once felt essential to your identity, but understand this: God is not asking you to let go to leave you empty. He is making room for something far more fulfilling and meaningful than you could ever imagine. This release is necessary for your growth and freedom. It is in surrendering the old that you create space for the new blessings, opportunities, and relationships that will nourish your spirit and align with your higher purpose. Trust that this departure is not the end, but a powerful beginning. God is leading you towards something far greater, something that will bring you deeper joy, lasting peace, and purpose beyond your wildest dreams. Embrace the process of letting go with faith, knowing that what lies ahead is more extraordinary than anything you leave behind. God's plan for you is unfolding perfectly, and every step of this release is preparing you for the incredible life He has designed just for you. Do you feel it deep within you? That growing urgency, that persistent stirring in your spirit? It's not anxiety or restlessness without cause. It's divine momentum. God is awakening something powerful inside of you, a call that can no longer be ignored. This is not a fleeting feeling. It is a divine signal that now is the time to move, to act, and to step boldly into your God-given purpose. You may find yourself feeling unsettled, as if the life you've been living no longer fits who you are becoming. There's a tug at your heart, a quiet but undeniable voice urging you to pursue something greater, something far more meaningful than anything you've done before. This is God's way of saying, the time is now. He is calling you forward, guiding you to step out in faith and embrace the destiny He has prepared for you. Understand this. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to wait until you feel fully prepared or until all the pieces fall into place. God is not looking for perfection. He is looking for a willing heart. Your readiness is not measured by how much you know or how capable you feel. It is measured by your willingness to trust Him and take that first step. That sense of urgency is a divine invitation. God is aligning opportunities, opening doors, and making a way for you. All He asks is that you move forward in faith. Trust that He will provide everything you need along the way. The time for hesitation is over. This is your moment to rise. Step boldly into your purpose, for God has already gone ahead of you, preparing the way. You might find yourself asking, why is this happening now? Why not sooner when I felt more ready? Why not later when I might feel more prepared? But God's timing is never early and never late. It is always perfect. Every delay you've experienced, every closed door that left you wondering, and every long season of waiting was not wasted. It was all intentional. God has been carefully orchestrating every detail of your life, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. What felt like setbacks were actually setups. Those unanswered prayers and detours were divine pauses, designed to strengthen your character, deepen your faith, and prepare your heart for what's coming. God has been working behind the scenes, arranging things in perfect order so that when the time is right, everything will unfold effortlessly and beautifully. Had it happened any sooner, you may not have been ready to carry the weight of the blessing. Had it happened later, you might have missed the divine alignment. The waiting was never meant to harm you but to prepare you. In the stillness, God was shaping you, molding you into the person capable of stepping into this new season. Trust that every moment of waiting has brought you to this exact point for a reason. Now is the appointed time. The doors that once seemed closed will begin to open, the opportunities you thought were lost will resurface, and the purpose you've longed for will become clear. God's perfect timing is about to reveal a plan far greater than anything you could have imagined. Trust Him. He is never late. The greatest and most profound transformation you will ever experience is the moment you fully recognize who you truly are. You are not ordinary. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are a chosen one, handpicked by God Himself for a divine mission that only you can fulfill. Within you lies a unique purpose, a calling so significant that it was woven into the very fabric of your being long before you took your first breath. This divine meeting that is drawing near will not only reveal God's plan for your life, but will also awaken you to the incredible power and authority that has been within you all along. For so long, you may have questioned your worth, doubted your abilities, or felt limited by your circumstances. But this encounter will strip away every doubt and replace it with unshakable confidence in who God created you to be. You will come to understand your purpose with a clarity that silences confusion, a peace that calms every fear, and a momentum that propels you forward with unstoppable force. The pieces of your life, every struggle, every victory, every delay, will suddenly make sense. You will see how God has been preparing you for this very moment, equipping you with every tool, gift, and experience necessary to fulfill your divine assignment. This is not a small awakening. It is a full realization of your divine identity. You were created for more. You were chosen to rise, to lead, and to impact the world in ways beyond your imagination. Embrace this truth, for stepping into this realization will unlock doors you never thought possible. Your life is about to align perfectly with God's greater purpose, and nothing will be the same again. Chosen one, this is your moment. The life-changing encounter you've been waiting for is near. Everything in your life has prepared you for this. The path ahead may be uncertain, but you are not alone. God is guiding you every step of the way. Trust the process. Release the old. Embrace the new. Your spiritual awakening is unfolding, and your divine mission is calling. This is your time. Step boldly into your destiny. If you feel the truth of this message stirring in your spirit, affirm it now. Like this message, subscribe to join this journey, and comment 99 below to declare your readiness. Your transformation is closer than you think, and when it happens, everything will change. You might be surprised by what I'm about to share, but I need you to pause, stay still, silent, and fully focused on what's coming your way. This is not just another message. This is a divine appointment. You didn't stumble upon this video by accident. You are here because God is about to reveal something profound to you. This message is not for everyone. It's for the chosen ones, those whom God has set apart for His divine purpose. If you are not ready to hear this truth, if your heart is not open to the stirring of the Spirit, feel free to click away now. But if something inside you stirs, if your soul leans in, then this message is for you. Chosen ones, let me ask you, have you ever felt like you were in the fight of your life? Not a physical fight, but a spiritual one? A battle so fierce that it left you exhausted in your soul? Have you ever stood in the middle of your past and your future, unsure of what God is doing but knowing you can't stay where you are? If this resonates with you, then listen closely. This is not just a story. This is your story. This is God speaking to you through the life of Jacob, a man who wrestled with God and emerged transformed. His struggle mirrors our own, and within his story lies the key to your breakthrough. Jacob's journey toward transformation did not begin with his famous wrestling match at Peniel. It started much earlier, with a deliberate season of isolation. In Genesis 32, we read that Jacob sent his family, servants, and all his possessions across the Jabbok River, leaving himself completely alone. Alone, exposed, vulnerable. This was not by accident, it was intentional. Why would God allow Jacob, or any of us, to experience such profound solitude? Because there are moments when the overwhelming noise and busyness of life drown out God's voice. In isolation, God removes distractions, stripping away the comforts and securities we often cling to, forcing us to face our true selves. It's in these moments that we must confront who we have been and who God is calling us to become. Jacob was no stranger to struggle. His battle began long before that night by the river. Even in his mother's womb, Jacob wrestled with his twin brother Esau. His very name, Jacob, means heel grabber or supplanter, reflecting his lifelong pattern of striving, manipulating, and deceiving to get ahead. From taking Esau's birthright to deceiving his father for the blessing, Jacob's story was marked by self-reliance and struggle. But now, Jacob was facing a battle he could not win through deceit or strength. The looming reunion with Esau, the brother he had wronged, left Jacob filled with fear and uncertainty. No more schemes, no more running. In this place of isolation, Jacob had to wrestle not only with God, but with his own identity. God often brings us into seasons of isolation, not to harm us, but to prepare us for transformation. In the silence, we hear his voice more clearly. In the solitude, he begins to reshape us for his divine purpose. On the eve of meeting Esau, the brother he had deceived, Jacob found himself utterly alone. And in that solitude, God met him in a form he didn't expect. Genesis 32:24-26 says, "So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched. Then the man said, 'Let me go, for it is daybreak.' But Jacob replied, 'I will not let you go unless you bless me.'" Imagine the scene. Jacob is exhausted, crippled by pain, yet he clings with every fiber of his being. This wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Jacob wasn't fighting a man, he was wrestling with God himself, and Jacob refused to let go. This is a declaration of faith. Jacob was saying, "I've struggled all my life, but I will not miss this moment. I will fight until you bless me." How often do we surrender just moments before our breakthrough arrives? How many times have we stopped praying, stopped believing, or walked away because the struggle felt too heavy or the waiting seemed endless? In our human weakness, it's easy to grow weary when the answers don't come quickly or when the battle feels too intense. Yet Jacob's story reminds us that it's often in the darkest, most painful moments that we are closest to God's greatest blessings. How many blessings have we missed because we gave up too soon? The night may feel long, but the dawn is coming. Like Jacob, we must hold on through the pain, through the silence, and through the doubt. God honors those who persevere. Don't let go now. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. Then came the pivotal moment in Jacob's life, a moment that would forever alter his identity and purpose. In the midst of his intense all-night struggle, the man wrestling with Jacob, revealed to be God, asked him a seemingly simple question: "What is your name?" At first glance, this might appear to be an ordinary inquiry, but in biblical times, a name was deeply significant. A name was more than a way to identify someone. It embodied a person's character, reputation, and destiny. By asking Jacob this question, God was doing more than requesting information. He was inviting Jacob to confront the truth about who he was. When Jacob answered, "I am Jacob," it was a confession. He wasn't just stating his name. He was acknowledging his identity as a deceiver and a trickster. His name, Jacob, literally means heel grabber or supplanter, reflecting his lifelong pattern of manipulation and striving to get ahead at any cost. From deceiving his brother Esau to tricking his father Isaac, Jacob's life had been marked by selfish ambition and deceit. But God wasn't interested in punishing Jacob for his past. He was preparing to transform him. In response, God declared, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." This was more than a new name. It was a new identity. The name Israel means God prevails. In that single moment, God redefined Jacob's entire existence. No longer would he be known as the deceiver. Now he was recognized as someone who had wrestled with God and emerged victorious. Jacob's struggle wasn't about defeat, it was about transformation. God wasn't interested in blessing the man Jacob had been. He wanted to transform Jacob into the man he had destined him to be. In the same way, God desires to transform us. He doesn't define us by our failures or our past mistakes. Instead, he uses our struggles to strip away the false labels we've accepted and to reveal our true identity in him. God allows us to wrestle, not to defeat us, but to redefine us. He takes our brokenness, our failures, and our insecurities and gives us a new name, a new identity, and a new purpose. Just as he did with Jacob, God wants to turn your struggle into strength and your pain into purpose. After Jacob's intense struggle with God, he walked away with a limp, a physical mark that he would carry for the rest of his life. To outsiders, this limp may have seemed like a sign of weakness or defeat, but to Jacob, it was far more than that. It was a sacred reminder: I encountered God, and I am forever changed. His limp was not a wound of failure, but a testimony of transformation. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, God says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." This verse reveals a profound truth. God often allows weakness, pain, and brokenness to remain, not to shame us, but to display his strength in our lives. The very areas where we feel the most fragile or scarred are often the places where God's presence has been most powerful. Your limp, your scars, your disappointments, your struggles, is not a sign that God has abandoned you. Instead, it is evidence that you have been in his presence. God does not waste pain. In the breaking, there is blessing. In the struggle, there is transformation. I once knew a woman who was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of cancer. Doctors told her that the chances of survival were incredibly slim and advised her to prepare for the worst. The treatments were harsh, and the pain was unbearable. Many in her position would have given up hope. But Sarah chose a different path. Instead of surrendering to fear, she clung tightly to God's promises. Every day, through tears and weakness, she prayed, "Lord, I won't let go until you heal me. I believe you are greater than this disease." Her family and friends surrounded her with prayer and support. Months turned into years of relentless faith, prayer, and treatment. Miraculously, against all odds, the cancer began to shrink and eventually disappeared. Doctors were astonished, calling it an unexplainable recovery. But she knew it was God's healing hand at work. What if she had given up? What if Jacob had let go during his struggle? Chosen one, don't be discouraged by your struggles. Your breakthrough may be just beyond the pain you're enduring right now. Hold on. Keep wrestling. God is working through your weakness to bring about your victory. Many of you are in a season of wrestling with God right now. Maybe it's a battle in your finances where no matter how hard you work, it feels like you can't get ahead. Perhaps it's in your relationships, broken friendships, strained family ties, or a marriage that feels like it's falling apart. Maybe it's your health where each doctor's report brings more fear than hope. Or perhaps it's your faith itself, where God feels distant and prayers seem to go unanswered. You feel exhausted. You feel like giving up. But I'm here to tell you, don't let go. God is not punishing you. He's not distant or silent to harm you. He allows the struggle because He's preparing you for what's coming. The pain, the waiting, the uncertainty, it's all part of a greater process. Just as Jacob's wrestling match wasn't about defeat but about transformation, your struggle has a divine purpose. God is using this season to refine your faith, to strip away false identities, and to strengthen you for the blessings He has in store. If Jacob had let go during the struggle, he would have missed his transformation from Jacob the deceiver to Israel, the one who overcomes. The same is true for you. Your struggle is not in vain. It is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Hold on. Trust God through the pain. Your blessing is on the other side of this battle. After his intense struggle, Jacob named the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." This was more than a physical location for Jacob. It was a sacred place of transformation, where he encountered God in a deeply personal and life-changing way. Have you encountered God face to face? Have you wrestled with Him not for what He can give, but for who He is? In Jeremiah 29:13, God promises, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." This is not a half-hearted search. It's a relentless pursuit that pushes through pain, doubt, silence, and fear. Are you willing to press in, even when the answers don't come quickly? Are you willing to wrestle with God, not for what He can give, but to know Him more deeply? Jacob's life was never the same after his encounter with God. He walked away changed, both physically and spiritually. The same can be true for you. When you seek God with your whole heart, when you refuse to let go despite the struggle, you will encounter Him in ways that transform you forever. Will you press in? Will you wrestle through the pain, the doubt, the silence, until God moves? Chosen ones, this is your moment. Like Jacob, you are standing at the edge of transformation. Your struggle is not wasted. Your pain is not in vain. Refuse to let go. Wrestle until God blesses you. Allow Him to redefine your identity. Embrace your brokenness, knowing it is the gateway to your destiny. Are you ready to fight for your breakthrough? Are you ready to be transformed? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you with open hearts. For every person listening, I ask for strength to endure the struggle. Redefine their identity, Lord. Give them the perseverance to hold on until the blessing comes. Let them encounter you face to face. Transform their pain into purpose and their struggle into strength. We trust you, Lord. We refuse to let go. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. If this message has stirred something deep within you, comment below. Thank you, Jesus. Share this message. Let it be a seed that brings hope and transformation to others. Your breakthrough is near. Don't let go. The dawn is coming.